What is going on, everyone? Welcome for reaction for what chapter? One Piece chapter 1158. It has been, feels like it's been forever. I know it's only been 2 weeks, but we've had like chapter break, chapter break, chapter break for a while. So I think I was told there is no break after this one, which is exciting. So it's good to see you guys. And sorry I'm a few minutes late, but I'm just going to be honest with you guys. I'm just going to be completely honest. I saw the title for the chapter and got really excited. And then so I clicked the chapter to kind of set up the stream. And then I accidentally glanced at the cover page. And I also got shocked at that. So I know, that's all I know. I know nothing more, and I just found that out. So sorry I'm a little bit late, but I was getting hyped. I saw the title is Rocks vs. Herald. I need to stop looking at the titles, but I mean, this chapter's got to be peak. I mean... And you know, we did have like the Luffy versus Kizaru chapter, and it didn't live up to that much hype. I felt like the fight was good, but like more of the fight happened after that chapter. So I don't know what we're gonna get, but I saw the title and I was pumped. But I don't know anything more than the title or this first thing of the cover story, which I didn't even mean to look at. My eyes just went straight to the one part of the cover story I shouldn't have looked at. But hey, I'm not spoiled beyond that. It's all good. And I'm pumped. Like these are good things. It'd be something else if I saw a title that was bad or you know, something negative. So we're good. Also, I see a bunch of member donations in the chat. Also, I just saw Knack Talk gifted 10 memberships. So let me just, I can't match you with the 10. I don't think I have 10, but I'm gonna go ahead and do a free 5. Also, Bean Boy with the 5 memberships. I guess I'm matching you now. Thank you guys, and I know there's some member messages above that I'll get to, but just want to say thank you for all the gifted memberships. Y'all are awesome. Thank you very much. Also earlier I saw Zagrash join the Afro Gang. Welcome. Quanadin, member for 15 months. 15 months, hell yeah. 12 out of 10 chapter easily. And I see Smooth Coca-Cola right below you saying 100 out of 10 chapters. So, I mean, with that title, bro, I was already pumped for this, by the way. Like, I mean, it's been a couple weeks. The last few chapters have been amazing. You know, I've been thinking about this a lot because this chapter also came out a little later than normal. So I've been thinking, like, what are we gonna get? You know, what can we look forward to? And seeing all these chapter ratings here and seeing the title, I'm so ready for this, like, for real. And then Bean Boy, member for 29 months. When Dak does a cannonball, it's called a sake bomb. I love that. And you know, whenever I was, well, I'm about to say when I was younger, but I don't mean that young. But in my college days, my favorite alcoholic beverage was a Jaeger bomb. So maybe I need to make a sake bomb or a Dak bomb or some beverage of some kind. But thank you very much, Bean Boy, and thank you for the gifted memberships as well down there. Lol Sauce McGee, member for 31 months, bro. This stream requires D likes. Hey, listen to the man. He knows what he's talking about. I actually don't know what I'm talking about because I don't know what's in the chapter yet. But hey, if he's saying it, you already know. Pulsar, well, RLX Pulsar, I believe Mick Pulsar is the display name. We're back to this @ symbol thing, which, by the way, I looked this up, and apparently it's been a slow rollout from YouTube because the @ names are, you know, more individualized, like because you can copy the same display name as somebody, but you can't copy the @ name. So I guess this is staying permanently. Some channels don't have it yet, but I got it recently, and I guess it's here to stay. I don't know. I don't like it, but either way, Pulsar, member for 14 months. He said, "Sup, Dak, ready for this one?" I don't know now. I thought I was when I was getting ready. I walked my dogs this morning, had a great day. I was getting prepped for the stream. I was working on the cover story video before this, which should be out this weekend. It is a very long video. It is over an hour. I hope that's all right. But if you have not seen all the cover stories, or even if you have, but you want to get maybe some theory thoughts or just some extra context for them, definitely watch that video. I think it's going to be a good one. And also, thank you guys for watching the Loki video. And if you haven't yet, definitely go watch that. But anyway, Pulsar, thank you very much. I appreciate you. And John Stoops, member for 16 months. 2 of the longest weeks of my life. Month, honestly. Dude, I feel you. We've had, what, 3 chapters over the last, like, 6 weeks? Or something to that effect, I think. Which is honestly still, like, kind of amazingly consistent in the sense of, you know, Oda's been doing this for almost 30 years now, and he hasn't taken that long of a break. Like, the month is the longest break he's had in 30 years. So in that context, it's actually amazing, but it definitely feels, you know, heavier when we get break chapter, break chapter, break chapter. So yeah, I'm pumped for this, man. I'm pumped, and I don't think there's a break after this one either. So And then Knack, thank you again for the 10 gifted memberships. Welcome everyone to the Afro Gang. ZMP323, my guy, member for 29 months with the X on the arm emoji. I appreciate you. And Bean Boy, thank you again. Now let's see. Oh gosh, now we've got a couple more to get through. Let's see. Mr. Bushido, you said called it regarding cover. You say you already saw it. Yep, no worries. I did see that. Yep, it is the thing that we talked about in the Discord, which I got some thoughts. We'll get on that in a second. But the Knack talk with the Canadian $5, bro. I appreciate you, Knack. I'm gonna be shipping out your TCG cards soon, by the way, and I'm gonna throw in a little something extra for you. I'm not gonna tell you what it is, but once you get it, let me know, and I'll let you know the why it's special, because you might not know whenever you first look at it. But you said love y'all. I'll be back to discuss soon, but I had to make sure I was here today. Knack, you're the OG, man. Coming in just real quick with the donations, even though you got to bounce. You're a real one, man. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. And then Cloud Lizard. So glad to be here on this stream. 11 out of 10 chapter King. Bro, y'all are hyping this one up. Like, I mean, I can see the title. You know, I don't need any more hype. But now that I'm seeing 11 out of 10, 12 out of 10, 10 out of 10, I mean, shoot. We're in for a treat here, aren't we? And then, never mind. I guess Bushido had to come in with the 2 out of 10 chapter, no carrot. Well, hey, that actually means it's at least like a 7 or 8 out of 10 minimum, because whenever carrot's in it, you know, then the rating gets a little questionable. But either way, thank you very much, Mr. Bushido. Carrot will return eventually. To be clear, not this arc, not God Valley, but eventually, Carrot will make her return. Not to the crew though. But then you also had another super chat with the €2. Join the Discord. Yeah, if you guys have not joined the Discord yet, please do. I think we're at like 920 something members. I would love to get to 1,000 at some point. So definitely join. We've been growing steadily recently. We're getting, like, every stream or video I do, we're getting another chunk of people. So definitely join. Lots of good discussions in there. Discussions of all kinds, to be honest with you. So definitely do that. Time Lord, thank you for plugging the Discord. I appreciate you. But all right, with that being said, we've gotten through all the donations. Thank you guys again for all those. That's amazing. It makes my day getting on here and having all these donations, member messages, whatever, like before we can even get started. You know what I mean? The community, One Piece community, yet again, goated. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get into this chapter, guys. I don't wanna delay this any further, because I've already seen enough to get hyped about this. Just in one glance at the first page, which is awesome. And I gotta say, I couldn't have picked a better week to release the cover story video because of this cover page. So let's start there. Chapter 1158, Rocks vs. Herald. And our cover page is about that grave from last cover story page, which said there was a mysterious hero from the West Blue that fought Kaido, but his body disappeared. And we were talking in the Discord, Bushido was pushing this agenda, that it could be Moria. And here we're seeing that is the case. Now, there was also Jigoro was a popular answer, which I like that one too, but I didn't think it made sense that he would have still been around for Kaido, although it maybe could have, but Moria kind of made more sense the more I thought about it. Now, the reason I like this is because the last chapter, they said his body vanished, right? So there was no body to put in here. And we know that that's because Moria's still alive or whatever. But now we have to kind of piece together the story. Well, how did Moria just disappear and get out of there to where they're led to believe that he died? Well, remember, after Marineford, Doflamingo was sent to go kill Moria. And he even said he just vanished into thin air. I don't know where he went. And we learned, I think it was in an SBS later on, that it's because Absalom turned Moria invisible and he was able to sneak him out of there. So that's why he vanished. So now, did the same thing happen? Was it Absalom or maybe somebody else with the invisibility fruit who turned Moria invisible at the last second and got him out of there? So now they're led to believe that he died, but obviously he didn't. And I would guess that's the case. Absalom would only be like, I think 10 years old or something back when Moria fought Kaido, so I don't know if it would be Absalom specifically. But either way, bro, this is cool. And like I said, I couldn't have picked a better week to do the cover story video, because, like, if I would have done it last week before this reveal, it would have just been like a little emptier. But now that we got the Moria reveal, it also says Kozuki Moria, which I think that's really interesting too. Like that, you know, like, was Moria actually related to them, or is it just an honorary thing because he helped them? Like, he went against Kaido, so he's like Odin, so they just gave him that name? I don't know, because isn't Moria from the West Blue? I'm going to look that up real quick. This is incredibly interesting, though. Like, this is the kind of stuff in One Piece that, like, you know, you think you have the answers, and then this happens. Yeah, so he's from the West Blue, so, which we also saw that in an earlier cover story, too. So, we got to figure out what that connection is. I don't know, but I love that. I think that is so cool. Here lies the Pirate of Justice is the text at the bottom. I don't think there's a single person outside of Wano that would call Moria the Pirate of Justice, but again, this is why I love One Piece, man. That's so random, but it kind of makes sense, because Moria went and fought Kaido, and, you know, he's, I don't know, they don't know what he's done after that, right? So, and also, I don't know, like, you know, he took Ryuma's corpse, so, like, is there going to be a story there where they find that out? I don't know. But either way, super hype. Super duper hype. But now let's get into the actual chapter, because this is, if the title is Rocks vs. Herald, we gotta be cooking here. A certain sea, Roger's ship, the Oro Jackson. Captain Roger, I heard Shaki opened up a place on Pirate Island. They say it's unbelievable. And he's so upset. He probably feels like, you know, Rocks is one-upping him, probably. Like, because, I mean, he likes Shaki too, but now Shaki, like, he doesn't know the details, but he's like, why isn't she on my ship? Why is she over hanging out with them? Which I like that. We worried we'd never see her again when she quit being Empress, but now we know where she is. Let's go. Doesn't Rocks control Pirate Island? Is that Sunbell back there? Say, Rayleigh, is it just me, or has Roger been in a bad mood since you two spoke in his quarters? Ooh, is this going to be about Shaki? What did you discuss? Nothing. I wasn't going to say anything to the crew, but I figured I should just talk to you one-on-one, Roger. Was this during our last fight with the Kuja pirates, just before she quit? Shakuyaku did seem off back then, like she was sick or something. I worried she stepped down because of her health. But you're telling me she gave you this during that battle? Yeah, I was speechless. Oh, wow. This can only be described as a love letter. Come and make me yours. Yo. Rayleigh upscale, man. Hey, Rayleigh. Look, and you're not interested? Oh, bro, see, that's a serious Rayleigh upscale, bro. The Rayleigh hype is up there. Rayleigh, he's Scopper and Sanji are probably so jealous of this man's. I mean, he's got. I don't know. Rayleigh's just got it, man. I'd be lying if I said that. Okay, I just don't want to be tied down. Well, I do. Your Rayleigh's a real one, man. That's crazy. So basically, that's why Roger's upset now. So at this juncture of the story, which, did we get a timestamp? We didn't. But this is probably like around, this would have to be right after 42 years ago, because Shaki's already on Hachinosu. So that means that for this time period, Roger's probably like a little, I mean, I'm sure he still likes Shaki, but he probably put it to the side. Like, he probably doesn't care as much at this point, because he knows that she's gonna be Rayleigh's, I'm thinking. So I wonder how that plays into God Valley. Like, maybe Roger wasn't as motivated by Shaki as we think at this point because he gave up on it, is what I'm wondering. Or, well, here we go. Never mind. Come on, men. I ain't giving up. Now, is it about Shaki, or is it about, you know, everything else going on? Huh? You're energetic all of a sudden, Roger. Pirates live to plunder, and we don't stop till the prize is claimed. Ain't that right, fellas? Is he still talking about Shaki? So even he's asking the question. I feel like he kind of is, but he also definitely... I wonder if he's going for her for Rayleigh's sake. Is that the idea? Like, now he's going to go and try to get her so Rayleigh can have her? Because that'd be a bro move if that's actually what's going on. Also, I just glanced at the chat. Bean Boy, my parents aren't home. That's funny. I think this is really awesome. This little, like, discussion between Rayleigh and Roger here, like, I don't know. It's just kind of like a bro moment for those two. I love it. Gotta be. Why else would we go to Rock's Island of all places? Everyone's got an equal chance. Let's go and get her. Marks, I'm hungry. Make food. It's already done. Dig in. Marks, did we know him already? Hold on. I don't remember that name, but is that one of like the random ones that were revealed recently? Did we know him? Marks? Is that the correct name? I don't see him on the, Oh, no, now he is. Max Marks. I see him. Okay. I see him. Cool. I forgot he even existed. But, you know, you learn something new every day. It's already done. Dig in. All right, now we're going to the Holy Land. See, anytime I see Pangea Castle, I know we're in for some peak. It's an automatic reaction. Like when Oda bothers to draw this castle, he's not putting all that detail into the castle for no reason. We're about to get some kind of peak. Sometime later, 40 years ago, the Holy Land of Marijois. You're impatient, Garling. The previous competition just ended. I'm aware, but while we were completing another assignment, we briefly stopped at that island. It's a non-affiliated state, but it has a unique culture. We tried offering them membership in the world government, but they declined. While their abundant resources would certainly prove valuable to us, we just made an outrageous discovery. So this is definitely talking about God... Excuse me. Definitely talking about God Valley because the resources were the whole reason. God's Knight, the Garland family, St. Garling, future elder. And it was a completely unexpected find. And the Great One will surely be pleased with it. The Great One. So, Emu, in 2 years' time, I strongly urge you to hold the next hunt at God Valley. Okay, so Garling was part of the reason that God Valley was chosen, which is very interesting. The Great One. That's gotta be Emu. So which makes sense. We already know the God's Knights know about Emu, but that's interesting. Shacky's ripoff bar, Pirate Island. Get in a single file line, you idiots. What? It's that much? I don't have that kind of money. Come to the back. You can work it off with 2 years of unpaid labor. Huh? I came all the way from the North Blue. I hear you serve some great whiskey. And that Shacky makes a mean stew. A cute compliment like that makes me smile. But I'm not gonna personally cook for people like you. What? She's just how I dreamed. I'm so happy. Everybody's simping over Shacky, man. Everybody. She's just how I dreamed. I'm so happy. Shacky-san, my special bean stew is ready, but we're out of whiskey. Use the cheap rum instead. Anyway, here's your top quality whiskey. 3 cheers for our host's poor service. What happened, Rox? I'm kind of sad that satisfied grin isn't for me anymore. Interesting. Mama. See? A woman's intuition is a scary thing, huh? Shut up. I said it's none of your business. What's going on, dummy? It has to be a woman. This guy's grinning like he's expecting a kid. Okay, so that is him talking about Blackbeard, right? So whoever Blackbeard's mom is, Rox found that woman in between these time frames because Blackbeard is 40 years old, right? I'm going to double... I think he's 40 and Shanks is 39. I always get those confused. But yeah, so he's 40. And this is 40 years ago. So that means that he... You know, the baby's on the way. The bun is in the oven. But we just got to figure out whose oven it is. You know what I mean? So hopefully we see that at some point. We know Oda kind of skipped over showing us any Rox altercations between 42 and 40 years ago. So we don't have a whole lot of, anything to go off of. But either way. Now Roger is here at the bar. Oh, wow. Okay. Shacky, I've come for you. Shacky-chan, it's me. It's the Roger Pirates. Get a pick. Oh, Roger. And now we got Rox and Roger doing the headbutt thing. That is such a cool panel. Like, we've seen that a bunch of times, right? Where like Luffy and somebody does that. I think there's been even other examples where they do this headbutt thing when they're arguing. But it being Roger and Rocks, bro. I mean, listen, hey, Trevor, I don't know if you're watching right now, but usually we talk about what we're gonna get drawn for Redacted or whatever after a chapter. Go ahead and just start drawing that panel right there. There might be something crazy later, but I think I'm gonna need that drawn. The Rocks and Roger faces headbutting. That's too peak, man. I love that moment. Roger, how many times do I gotta tell you that this is my island? Didn't you hear? Fighting at Shacky's is forbidden. So stuff it, you porcupine. Oh, that's funny. I like that. So they can't fight either in Shacky's bar. So we got two goats just chilling in the same bar right now. That's not real. Isn't there a huge line out there? How'd you get in here? Did you wait in it? There was a line? I hardly noticed. Drink up, everybody. Damn, so he just kicked all of their asses to get to the front of the line. Hey, bro, it's Pirate Island. That's... If you ain't ready to throw hands, I mean, someone else is going to be. I can't stand those guys. They're so noisy. Put it on Newgate's tab. Nah, leave it on Rocks. Roger, where's Ray-san? I told him to come, but he said he wasn't feeling well, so he's napping on the ship. Is he... I feel like Roger's definitely trying to set up Shacky and Rayleigh a little bit. I wonder if he's going to tell her to go check on him at the ship or something like that. So it's just those two. Because if he came here, they wouldn't be alone. So I wonder if that's maybe the plan. I don't know. I hope it's a bro moment for Roger. Hope he redeems himself. Is that you, Roger? I've wanted to see you again so badly. Now let me on your ship. Gloriosa, I told you no. I'm not into lovey-dovey women who throw themselves at me. But if Shacky asked, it'd be different. That makes no sense. I'll pass. There's Roger, a little upset. Yo, isn't Newgate still here? I want to drink with him. He left. Mama. I love Big Mom's laugh, man. That might be my favorite in the whole story. Damn it, Rayleigh. Why didn't you come? So definitely Roger is definitely... He's definitely trying to set up Rayleigh, because you see the little thought bubbles right here, like he didn't say the damn it Rayleigh thing out loud, or even that other expression to the right. So I think that's So was the plan to get her to leave the bar? I don't know. We'll deliver Bink sake. Oh, dude, wait, is that Rayleigh? Sigh. Wait, is that Rayleigh singing Bink sake at the end of the ship with the egg on it, by the way? Which we already knew that they had the egg, but still, it's cool. Is that? Hey, it's cool that they're singing Bink Sake, man. Sigh. Okay. And that's Shacky. Is she hearing the song? I don't know. Whoa, Shacky's fainted. Empress Shacky. I want to take care of her. Let me help. Move it, boys. Keep away from her. Shakuyaku's rules ensured that anyone coming to the island to visit her establishment would be granted safe passage. Even the fiercest of pirates would keep the peace if they crossed paths. But back at sea, all bets were off. And now we got the opposite. We got Roger and Rocks looking opposite directions, which is also badass. Both of those are thumbnail worthy, I'm not gonna lie. Trevor, if you're watching, take your pick. We can draw either of those. Realm of the Dead, Elbaf. Alright, so is this the Roger or the Rocks and Harold thing? So we see Loki tearing off a tree here. All these animals are talking. And oh my god, now we got Harold and Rocks clashing. Another big clash. What is the context of this? Why are they fighting? Harold, the government's really got you wrapped around their finger. I was torn. So is he trying to kill Rocks like they said? So maybe he tried doing it even before God Valley. I was torn. Is this really something worth killing your friend over? And in the end, you just bowed down to them? Dumbass, you're being their tool. Is this their answer? They see you giants as nothing but a military asset, which is 100% true. You'll all be enslaved as soldiers. What happened to your warrior's pride? Don't you have your own will? Quit talking like you know everything. Hey, it's kind of peak that they're going toe-to-toe. Like I feel like that's kind of upscaling Harold a little bit, which I feel like with how strong Loki's supposed to be, with like only Shanks being able to stop him, you could have probably presumed that he was going to be on this level. But like these are two top tiers. You know what I mean? Like these are the strongest of the strong of the past era. Like this is insane, bro. Man, Rox is getting cooked a little bit. Our warriors created a history of violence. Elbaf is shackled by it, held back from achieving true peace. We got a little bit of a flashback here. You seem to have a good heart, Harold, but a long time ago, this country was attacked by giants. Damn, and that panel there with Harold, like, looking sad with the snow behind him, kind of reacting to these people, it really adds some context, right? Because we've talked about this a lot on the channel, but, like, you know, whenever we met Saul, he talked about how the Elbaf giants have a savage reputation, and Ida even mentioned that, and they're both from the South Blue, so I think they're from the same place, but regardless, they, you know, that reputation must have come from somewhere, and we're seeing exactly where that's come from, because all these other islands have been ransacked by giants over the years. Especially, I mean, I guess we don't know this for sure, but I mean, the giants have been operating for thousands and thousands of years, right? Elbaf's been around forever, so there's probably tons and tons of people that have been impacted over the years. And so whether it's, you know, recent, where like people like this literally remember it, or even if it's like something passed down from generation to generation. So I feel like this is a really cool discussion they're having, because I feel like they're both right in a certain way, and they're also both wrong in a certain way. So I love this 100%. That kind of fear doesn't fade so easily. Sorry. And that's exactly it. Like, once you've built that reputation, it takes a while to shake the reputation. Listen, Rox, no matter how foolish the Celestial Dragons may be, they still have the influence in the world to bring Elbaf into the loop. Stop it, you cowardly rat. And damn, he just cooked Harold too. This is crazy, dude. These guys are just exchanging blows like crazy. Consider our business closed. You won't be getting another invite from me again. I'm a king. I can't throw away my people's lives by following a villain like you into a losing battle. It's such a cool argument, man. There's like so many deep thematical layers to it. So this was like 40 years ago, right? I'm going to go back up, see if it updated at all. No, because so 40 was the last time we saw them on Hachinosu, so still probably approximately 40. So they fought here. So I wonder if Harold did go to God Valley. Consider our business closed. I read that. Okay. There was no true conclusion, but this unorthodox friendship had come to an end. The two would not meet again for some time. Not until the day of a certain incident. All right, so Harold did go to God Valley. That's pretty much a confirmation, right? I mean, I guess it says the day of, so I guess theoretically Harold could have met him before he left or something, but that's definitely implying Harold was there. I wasn't really expecting them to have an all-out brawl even before that. Damn. And now we got Loki on the beach, well, on the shore, I guess, reading about Rox. More news about Rox. And this reminds me a lot of like Odin. Remember when Odin went back to Wano and he would like, I remember one scene of this where he like read the paper and ran towards the beach and like was yelling out to Roger, because it was about Roger's death, I think. But like kind of just looking out to the ocean, thinking about, you know, that person he kind of looked up to. It's like kind of the same thing here, and I love that parallel, because Odin and Loki already parallel in a lot of ways, so it makes sense. He isn't coming back, Loki. Shut up, you lying hag. Would you like some juice? Okay. Hey, he's still a little kid, you know? 39 years ago, West Blue, God Valley. Are we about to get some... We're about to get some God Valley info? Okay, 39 years, like God Valley, like the people before they got attacked. This I was not expecting. Aw, two twin boys. They're so cute, and they've got your red hair. I hope that they grow up to be as bright as you. Don't worry, we'll pitch in since their daddy is away. Thank you, mister. Have you settled on names for them? Shanks and Shamrock. Chapter 1158N, no break. Whoa, wait. Wait a second. So now how does that work? I mean, like I'd love it. I wasn't, because we all presumed they were born like in the Holy Land or whatever, right? But now this woman here it had them here on God Valley, so they're God Valley kids, but they also say their daddy is away. So did Garling come and visit here? And like, because my first thought is that Garling would have like made this woman his wife or whatever, but she's still here, so I don't think that's necessarily the case, right? So he must have just came and visited and knocked her up, I guess, and then he's coming back to pick up his kids. Like, did they? I mean, you know, the Celestial Dragons are pretty depraved. Like, did they just go around and, you know, kind of knock up whoever? Is that the origin of Shanks and Shamrock? Like I wonder if Garling, like, how much he cared about them, I guess is what I'm thinking, right? Like, does he know that he got this woman pregnant, and is he gonna want his kids back? Or, like, how does he get Shamrock out of this equation, I guess is really my question. And, what, like, after the event, did he just take the baby knowing it's his? Or was it like, I don't know. Like, I want to know how this all connects now, but that's wild. So Garling came here and just knocked this girl up, and that's the origin of Shanks. So Shanks was born on God Valley. He is a God Valley citizen, I guess. His birth certificate says he was, you know, from God Valley. And that's really interesting, because remember when Shanks was talking to Whitebeard and he said, like, this sake is from my hometown, it's the best or whatever. Well, this is his hometown, right? I mean, but God Valley got erased, so now we have to ask how he was still getting sake from there, unless he, like, brewed it in the same way that they did on God Valley, or maybe he, like, has, like, a store of sake from God Valley somehow. I don't know. But that's a cool connection, which makes sense now that we know this is officially his homeland. Because I think people thought that maybe he could mean God Valley because he was, like, picked up there by Roger, so he considers that his homeland. But no, it's literally his homeland. Like, that dude was born there. This is crazy, man. Very unexpected. I love that. I love that ending. That is so cool. This was a great chapter, guys. Now I see why you guys were hyping this one up. We got everything. I'm going to scroll back up and just kind of go through. So we got everything. We got the bro moment with Roger and Rayleigh, which is kind of cool. We got Roger and Rox in the same room at Shacky's bar hanging out, which is super cool. And also just the paneling with Roger and Rox was top tier. Then we got the Rox and Harold fight. And we also got the reveal that Harold is going to go to God Valley, or that's what's implied. And then Shanks and Shamrock's mom, we don't see her face, but we, you know, see her. Bro, great chapter. I mean, this had a little bit of everything. And also the cover page, right? Moria. That's crazy. Top tier chapter. Great. I see why you guys were hyped. Time Lord, you said hometown can also mean area, like West Blue. Yeah, that's been, like, there's been a few debates I've had where people, like, I remember, like, when Brooke at the end of Thriller Bark, Brooke says, like, this land is from my homeland or something, and so people are like, oh, is Brooke from God Valley? Which, I mean, technically possible, but it more so means, like, it's from the same sea as me. It's from the same part of the world as me, right? So, but either way, now we know for sure what Shanks meant. Now we know he meant, yeah, like, from God Valley. I mean, theoretically, he could have got the sake from other parts of the West Blue, but now we know what his homeland is, at least, right? So that's crazy. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get to the super chats real quick. I do see a couple of chats I want to answer, but I don't want to get behind because I know we have quite a few donations to get through. So let's hurry up and get through these. Let's see. Bushido, I saw that. Knack, I saw that. Bushido, you got a couple more super chats here that I don't think I read yet. Do you think Garp ever went to Beehive during Rox's era? I was hoping to see Rocky Port in this flashback because I think Rox built it. Yeah, it would be really cool to see Rocky Port at some point, right? Because obviously Oda did the whole thing in the SBS with Rocky Port, and we know it's at Hachinosu somewhere, but or at least it was. I can't remember exactly what the details were, but it would be cool to see it at some point. And because I agree, Rock's making it makes a lot of sense, but I don't know. It seems like Oda's just going to skip over that entirely. I feel like he probably had a whole story about it, but I don't know if he's like running out of time or just didn't think it was interesting or whatever, but you know, he put it in the SBS, so I was hoping we'd see it too. But do I think Garp ever went there? I don't know, because like it's Pirate Island, and like I don't know if Marines would pull up willy-nilly. Like I know Garp is another thing where he might be a little more friendly, but I feel like that's a pretty big step. Like even for like Garp's perspective, which I know he doesn't care what his higher ups say, but I imagine they would have a lot of pushback on him going to Pirate Island, so I would say probably not. But I also wouldn't be surprised if he did, because we did just see him go there to save Kobe. And actually, that might be, not proof, but that might lead me to think he never went there, because you would almost think Garp would say, like, it's been a long time since I visited here. So I would say probably not, but it's possible. Then you also said Shaki's intro was beating a customer for complaining. That's awesome. I didn't remember that at all. That is so cool. It's like that. It's like she's saying, like, you're not coming here for the service. You're coming here because I'm the bartender, right? So you're gonna take whatever service I give you because you're not gonna complain, right? So that's honestly kind of hilarious. Next we got Alexander Fiorello with the $5 super chat. Thank you, my friend. Listen to last stream on a train ride in South Spain. I need more of Dak's angelic voices serenading the scenic moments of my life. My friend, I'm honored. I'm honored you would say such a thing, genuinely. And good news for you. That cover story video that I'm doing, if you care about that stuff, we're looking at like an hour and a half on that video, so you're gonna have plenty of my voice to listen to. I was actually thinking during the video, like, is this too much, Dak? Like, are people just gonna hear, like, it's just gonna be my voice for an hour and a half of like just running through all the cover stories? Which, I mean, like, these streams are over 2 hours usually, so I guess it's not that big of a deal, but that's definitely the longest main video I've ever done. So thank you, Alexander. Seriously, I that means a lot. When I remember when I started doing YouTube, because, well, I got a couple comments when I started saying like, oh yeah, your voice is really good, we like it for YouTube. And that was a shocker for me. Not because like I didn't like my voice, but I think a lot of you guys have probably experienced this in your life, where when you first hear your voice on a recording, it sounds a lot different than it does to your ears. So you think it sounds weird, like automatically. Like even if your voice is completely normal or good to listen to, that's just a global phenomenon, that whenever you hear your voice on a recording for the first time, or not even the first time, but you know, just randomly, you're like, whoa, I sound like that? Whoa, like that's not me. And so I remember whenever I started doing YouTube, like my first couple of videos, I thought that the whole time. I'm like, dude, I don't like the way I sound, but I also know that phenomenon where people don't like hearing their own voice. So I'm just going to put it out there and just hope it's okay. And people liked it. And so that was a big reason I stuck with YouTube, actually, was people saying they liked the voice. Because I was like, oh, I can get on the mic and talk. You know, streaming took me a little while, but I was like, I can get on the mic and talk all day if you guys like the sound of the voice. Because if you guys don't like it, then I'm cooked. So seriously, Alexander, I appreciate you. And speaking of like long videos, another thing is apologies for not doing a redacted video last week. I did record one with Sai, but I actually hurt my back really bad last week, and I was kind of like bedridden for a few days. If you guys have ever pulled something in your back, you know how bad it is. And I did end up recording something with Sai for last chapter, but editing it, I just could not sit in the chair long enough to edit that thing, so I never got it done, unfortunately. But there will be one for this chapter, absolutely. So be on the lookout for that for sure. So Alexander, thank you very much. Sir Cottony with the €5 super chat. Whitebeard leaving and not paying is a callback to chapter 909, page 6. Marco mentioned he didn't pay for drinks because he sent all of his treasure to Sphinx. Oh, bro. Oh, I didn't even make that connection. You're so right, though. Oh, I'm pulling up that chapter right now. You're so right. That is amazing. Hold on. I was actually just on chapter 909 last night. That's actually crazy, because I I was editing the cover story video, and I did the Grand Fleet portion, and 909 is Orlumbus's portion. So I was editing that, like, I don't know, 12 hours ago, a little bit over that. So that's crazy. But that's right. Oh, that's right. This is the Sphinx Island thing. Oh my god, I totally forgot. That is so... Oh man, that's such a good callback. And it's and going to that line where they're like, let me find it, where Whitebeard's like, no, put it on Rox's tab. Yeah, I can't stand those guys. They're so noisy. They put it on Newgate's tab. Nah, leave it on Rox. It's like, yeah, he's stacking that money for Sphinx Island. Oh, that's such a good connection, man. Oh, that's Sir Cottony. Thank you for super chatting. That's amazing. I hope we get a little more Whitebeard lore amongst all this Rox pirate stuff, because a lot of us obviously think of Whitebeard as a good guy, and he is, but he's obviously with Rox right now, and they've done some iffy things over the years, so it's like, I want to get a little backdrop just on his opinion on the whole thing. I also want to see, like, how, like, what Davy Backfight got him into the crew originally. Like, he's the one out of all of them that's the most interesting in terms of, like, the character building perspective. So I really hope we get some more info there. But Sir Cottony, thank you. Alexander Fiorello again with the $2 super chat. The panel of Harold in the snow is peak One Piece. Yep, I completely agree. Assuming we're talking about the same one, I'm gonna go back and look. Yeah, just the one where he's like looking sad downward in the midst of those flashbacks. It's so good. That's like, you can feel the emotion, right? Because, like, especially with the way he sandwiched it between the flashback panels, where it's like, you seem to have a good heart, but this country was attacked by giants. And this, you know what this actually goes back to? And I'm going to see if I can pull it up without messing up my setup here. A few chapters ago, I think it was in the Gale Ra discussion, maybe 1155. Let me see if I can find it. I can't get anything to load right now. Well, Firefox is just falling apart, so hold on. Let me pull up... Yep, there we go. Good old Chrome working when Firefox won't. Let me pull up a couple things here. Give me a second. Alright. Yep. My tab just crashed. Thank you, Firefox. Thank you for telling me 5 minutes after it crashed. Alright. Now I think I'm good. Is it this chapter? Maybe it's 1156 or maybe 1154. The one where they talk about Gale Ra. It's right here. So right here, Jarl tells Harold, there's probably a deeper reason why your ideals haven't worked out, and it has nothing to do with you. Lingering animosity, huh? So it's Jarl telling Harold, like, hey, you know, all of your efforts, like, the reason it's not working is because of the past, because giants have wronged people, and you're trying to do the right thing, but don't feel... He's basically saying, like, don't feel bad if you keep failing, because you're doing what you can. And I think that is just such a... I don't know, man. The way that Oda is doing the deeper, like, moral, cultural layers of Elbaf so far, even going back to the beginning, where, remember, like, the kids, like, some of the kids were, you know, like, about learning and not fighting and stuff, and some of the kids were about fighting. Like, Oda has done the cultural stuff in Elbaf so well, and I don't know if it's the exact same, but it's a little bit similar to in Wano, how like, you know, Odin wanted to get rid of the borders and to, you know, have people travel and all that kind of stuff. He didn't want a closed off country, but a lot of Wano probably did, or they were used to it or whatever, and they thought the outside world was dangerous. And that wasn't really talked about quite as much. Like, we didn't really go to as many of the townspeople and be like, hey, how do you feel about this? Or what do you want to do? Like, we didn't really have that. But here we're getting a lot of that, where we're seeing everyone's kind of opinion on the way that Elbaf has been and the way it's going to be. And that's honestly one of my favorite parts of the arc so far, I would say. So, yeah, amazing. Alexander, I agree. Peak One Piece with that panel in the snow, because it exemplifies everything Harold's going through. Mr. Bushido with the €5. In relation to my Irish theory, which, by the way, Tainted Marth, I know, did a video that ties to your Will of D and some Irish lore stuff, right? I believe, Mr. Bushido. And that video is doing really well. So if you guys want to go check out Tainted Marth's video, definitely do so, because it's doing really, really well, especially compared to his like channel size, which is always like really good evidence that the video's good. Because if there's only a few thousand subscribers, but there's tens of thousands of views, then you know the algorithm is pushing it because it's a good video. So definitely go check that out. But you said, in relation to my Irish theory, I think Shank's mom may be based on Brigid, a goddess in Celt D clan Christian. Okay, I feel like I'm butchering the way that you want me to read this, but I think Shank's mom may be based on Brigid, a goddess in Celtic D clan Christian scholar. In Celtic D clan Christian scholars made her a saint to rewrite history. Okay, I think I know what you're trying to say here. So, Shank's mom is based on Brigid, who's a goddess in this Irish lore that you're talking about, but Christian scholars made her out to be a saint. So, like, it's, I guess, propaganda in a way. They made her out to be better than she really was. So you're saying was she bad originally? Because if you said her a saint to rewrite history, was she bad at first? Trying to see if you've typed anything about it, but that would be the word limit is a bitch. Yeah, I know. I know. I guess what you're saying though is she's a bad person. So you're saying that Shanks's mom would be bad. If that's the implication, I don't think so. But because with Garling being obviously a bad guy, I think she's probably going to be a good person, because that's usually how some of the parents go. I mean, not always, but like you think about Sanji, right? His dad was bad, his mom was good. You think about Loki, his mom was bad, but his dad was good. Like usually if there's one bad parent, there's one good one typically, or they're just both good. So I don't know if she'd be bad, but regardless, I mean, the dude's name is Shamrock, so if we're going to the Celtic, or Celtic if you prefer, but you know, we have the Boston Celtics in the NBA, so I guess I always go with Celtic, but whatever you prefer. Since his name is Shamrock, I think there's definitely reason to believe there's some connections there. I'll explain it better on Discord, but no, Bridge is not evil. She is loved in Ireland. All right, well, if she's good, then good. That's all I care about. Then definitely send that to me on Discord then, for sure. I'll check it out. 25th Slayer with the $5 super chat. Do you think this is the start of the God Valley flashback? Yeah, I do. I think at this point, Oda's built it up really well. The one thing that a lot of people have brought up, which I agreed with, but now I think Oda's massaged it enough, is that we kind of need Garp's perspective is the one missing piece. So people have brought up, maybe we'll go to Blackbeard stealing Garp's memories, and that's how we get God Valley. And I love that idea. But we have gotten a little Garp information here, and we've also gotten a little Marine information on like how they've kind of viewed this situation. We also got the government getting involved and telling Harold to kill Rox. So we got a lot of Marine and government backdrop, and I feel like we have more than enough pirate backdrop at this point. And now we just got some Shanks backdrop. So I think we are really setting up well for the God Valley flashback at this point. I wouldn't be shocked if Oda kind of, you know, glided over it, kind of like he did with Kuma. Like maybe we see Rox pull up and the fighting start, but then we don't see the whole thing. That maybe could happen. But I did do a poll not too long ago. I think I had like 10,000 responses or something like that. Well, Firefox is not one of... Maybe I got to go over to Chrome. But I did a poll not that long ago, and I asked about this, and you guys said... 2/3 of you said we are going to get the full God Valley flashback soon. And I think I agree. I think it's a good ratio. I'm like a 66% yes. 2/3 chance yes. And if we don't, I feel like it has to happen soon. Like if it doesn't happen like in this flashback, then I think we got to skip over to Garp and Blackbeard soon and get it there. Because like, I don't know. We know so much about Rox at this point. We've met Shamrock. Like this is the Shanks arc. We just see Shanks as a baby. It's just... I think we're going to get it. I think it's going to happen. Mr. Bushido with the €5 again. Appreciate you for all the donations, brother. This may help Dragon's reputation. It might be a case that the Knights don't live on the Holy Land, so maybe Ginny wasn't there, hence why Dragon never attacked it to save her. Well, that would hurt Dragon's reputation, right? If Ginny wasn't in the Holy Land and was on a separate island. Because, like, I guess maybe the idea is, like, he wouldn't know where she is, but even that would be bad because it's like, at least go look for her. So I don't know if that would help his reputation, right? But regardless, that is an interesting point, that maybe the knights don't constantly live up there, or even like if they do have wives, maybe they don't leave them up there. Like this, I definitely feel like Garling was just, you know, going around, like, I don't know if he had missions or whatever, like better things to do, but it feels like while he's sailing, he's just knocking up whoever he feels like, probably because he's just, you know, terrible person. Which it is interesting that Shamrock ended up with him, though, right? Like, I still want to know how that, like was he, because he obviously he's making the plan to come back to God Valley and take it over. So was part of that plan because he wanted to get his kids back, or is this just a happenstance thing? I'm very, very curious on how that works. You said Dragon didn't know where she was and was investigating. I mean, I think Ginny actually said she left the Holy Land. I'm pretty sure, right? Izanami below you is also pointing out a good point. Ginny also had experiments run on her by Saturn, so I think she was definitely in the Holy Land. I'm pretty sure whenever she ran away whenever she called Kuma and the revolutionaries and stuff, I think she said, like, I was like a wife to somebody in the Holy Land or something like that. So it kind of implies that she was up there. So I think that's more so the case. And I'm still not convinced that even if she was on a separate island, it would help Dragon's reputation. I think it would hurt, because at least he should say that, right? Like, well, we have no idea where she is, Kuma. Like, hey, Kuma, you're the one who can teleport across the world. Can you, like, let's start looking. Like, that would kind of be the idea. So I don't know if that helps him. But if it was Marie-Joie, and the point is, I don't know if we can defeat them in a giant war, and then we're going to lose our mission. Like, that's at least a, you know, it's probably true. You know, it's like they go in and die, and that's like, you know, like, well, I know you want to save Ginny, but if all of us dying won't make it that much better. So I don't know, but I do think she was up there, though. I do think so. I think so. Alejandro Solis, member for 21 months. Why would Garling want kids that are pure blood? I think that's a good point if your argument is the pure-blooded ones end up like Sharlos, right? Because Sharlos does have insane durability, I suppose, but he's not threatening in an offensive. He is offensive, but not in a offense standpoint where he's not, you know, swinging a sword and hurting anybody. He just calls in the pacifista because he has no fighting prowess. So if that's your point, where like the pure-blooded ones end up not being, you know, that good, then maybe you're right. Maybe that's why a lot of the Gods Knights aren't pure-blooded celestial dragons. Like, we kind of know that for Gunka. We don't know exactly, but we saw that flashback with Brooke, and then we know she was in the Manmeyer family. So what is it maybe the same thing with her? Like, for example, was there another Manmeyer Gods Knight that visited Brooke's Island and had a kid there, and so she was Manmeyer whoever because her dad was a Manmeyer, but that's why she wasn't in the Holy Land, is because it's the same thing as God Valley. Actually, that's probably what it is, right? And then after I don't know what happened to Brooks Island. Maybe it got cleansed or whatever, but then after that, I guess she would have just got roped into the family, kind of like how Shamrock eventually got taken into the Gods Knights for real. That actually makes a lot of sense. So, yeah, you're probably right. They don't want the pure-blooded ones because they're like Sharlos. Now you're saying that are not. Well, because they end up like Sharlos, I guess is the answer. Yeah, if you meant are not, if you're a pure-blooded celestial dragon and you get sent out of the Holy Land and you live normally, you'll probably end up like a normal person. And it's the reverse is true too, where like if you're born with not pure blood, but you're taken into the Holy Land, you'll probably act like one. It's the nature versus nurture thing. So I think from their perspective, all they care about is getting like the strongest ones possible. And it might just be that pure-blooded celestial dragons aren't strong, right? And I've also had the theory, and I know other people have talked about this too, where like Emu might be able to control pure-blooded celestial dragons, and that's why they are like inbred, or at least that's what Sharlos looks like. And so it might be that, where maybe they like don't want them to be pure-blooded, so they don't get caught up in whatever thing happens later, because the God Knights are more useful than them. I don't know. But yeah, going back to the Gunko thing, I think it's more likely now that, yeah, they go around and knock people up, and then it's like, I don't know if it's coordinated. Like, I don't know if he went here and had these kids because he knew he was going to take it over and get his kids back, or if it's just happenstance because he has kids everywhere and we don't know. So I want to know like the rhyme or reason, but yeah, I think that's the idea. They just brainwash him. Eric J.O. just became a member. Put it on Whitebeard's tab with the Roger laugh emoji. Yeah, that was hilarious. And like, who was it? Was it Alexander earlier? Or no, Cottony, Sir Cottony. Like, it's so cool because it's like a funny joke on its own, just to like say, put it on Whitebeard's tab as he's leaving or whatever. But then to make it more sentimental on the other side, where Whitebeard, is saving the money. Like, I don't know, that's peak One Piece, man. It's like, I guess you can kind of call it a double entendre. I feel like that's not really what that means, but you know what I mean. There's double meaning to it, which is just awesome and hilarious. Vex, the lurking legend. Everything ties back to Thriller Bark. Hey, my guy Vex has been preaching the good word of Thriller Bark for eons, since day one. Since I've known Vex, I've known that Thriller Bark was his thing, and you're absolutely right. It all goes back to Thriller Bark, man. Because now, and guys, something also that I didn't point out about Moria earlier, but I think is important, is remember, he stole Orz's corpse and reanimated him, and that's an ancient giant, and we've already had Orz mentioned a few times this arc. And also, we don't know what race Moria is, but he has the horn, so he might be like Oni adjacent or something. So he ties into a lot of the stuff we're seeing with like Herald and the Ancient Giants, and maybe even Gale Ra, because I think Orz was in Gale Ra personally. So like the fact that now we're having Moria like backdrop in the cover story at the same time we're learning about the past of Elbaf, it's like, I don't know, Oda's weaving a story there together, man. I think Moria and the Cross Guild should come to Elbaf at some point. Not now. We have enough going on, but if we can kick Emu out of there and get a little bit of a pause, then I think they should pull up. It would make a lot of sense. John Stoops, 6029 with the $5. I believe in the Shamrock for Bonnie's Biofather and them both being a half celestial is a connection between the two. Yeah, it's either Shamrock or Garling. And I know that sounds weird because Garling is an old man. I guess that would have been like 10 plus years ago, so he'd be like late 40s or 50s, so it might be like a little more normal. But it's bad no matter what. It's not normal. I shouldn't have said that, but you know what I mean. It's not going to be as weird, but it's either Shamrock or Garling. And the reason I say that is, did you guys see in the anime episode, which I have not watched the anime episode, but I had someone send the picture to me where, like in Bonnie's like necklace thing that she gets, you can kind of see Garling's face in the reflection of it. I don't know if that's enough to convince me that it's going to be Garling, like as if the animators know that, but either way, I did think that was really interesting. But I think Shamrock's a little more likely. But yeah, them both being half celestial is a pretty cool connection as well. Like they basically went through the same thing. I mean, it was a little bit different because Bonnie was born there and left, and then Shamrock was born somewhere else and taken there. But either way, it is a really cool connection. So you're right. Yeah, I hope that reveal comes soon, and I think it will, about Bonnie's Biodad. And hopefully Kuma is like repaired by then and he can kick some more ass, because the fact that we did not kill Kuma in Egghead tells me that like Oda has some plan for him. He's not just gonna die, he's not just gonna fizzle out now. He's gonna get brought back at this point, I think. So hopefully Kuma does what he does to Shamrock what he did to Saturn, or even worse. Time Lord with the $2. Look up anime Baby Bonnie. Baby Shamrock is similar. Oh, hey, I already agree with the theory, but I'm gonna look it up anyway. And actually, I can already see it now that I think about it. Because that's crazy. I remember the hair. Oh yeah, dude, that is dead on. That is that is uncanny. And again, that's why, like, I think Shamrock's the most likely. But going back to the Garling thing, I think all the arguments for Shamrock also stand for Garling. Like, if Garling's kid looks like this, then maybe Garling's kid would look like Bonnie did as well, because that, his kids just look the same. So I don't know. Again, I'm gonna go Shamrock, but 50-50. But either way, it's one of the two. Like, damn, that is spot on. I want to see if I can. This isn't the best picture. I really hate how Like, whenever there's a picture on Facebook, it'll blur the picture on Google, so it forces you to go to Facebook, and I hate that, but see if I can get this image over here. Oh, yeah, there we go. It looks all right. Yeah, like, that is... Yeah, man, that is crazy. I mean, a lot of babies probably look similar. I wish I could show you there's like a couple other images over here, but yeah, no, you're definitely right, man. That is super close. JR Writer 203 with the $5 super chat. Really hope we get Lodestar next chapter since we're now 39 years ago. True. Yeah, this is the Lodestar year. Love the Roger Big Mom drink together moment. Makes Big Mom's dying words hit. Oh, dude. I didn't even think about that. When Big Mom was fallen like down into the depths of Wano, and she said, like, Roger, you said part of it's here, right? That is actually so true. And so that's like, dude, they're all just chumming around in here. I wonder what they talked about in this room, man. To be a fly on the wall in this moment, like, imagine. Just like, if Oda, if you're struggling for the next One Piece movie idea, just give us 2 hours of pirates hanging out at Shaki's bar on Hachinosu. Like, I'm not even kidding. You can come up with all sorts of cool things for us to see there, man. We will eat that up. You don't have to think about anything special. You don't have to change the story. You know what I mean? Like, just do it. Or you know what? Give us a movie about how Rocks got all of his crew through the Davy back fights. Like, show us what Whitebeard was doing before, you know? Like, and I know canon movies, Oda's kind of flirted with it. Like, Strong World is turning out to be like a little canon, not the whole movie, but parts of it. Film Red, you know, like, Uta is canon, but maybe not all the details from the movie, whatever. Oda, we're ready for a full canon movie, man. Just give us some Hachinosu stuff, give us some Rock stuff. We've met him in the manga. You can now do the movie, you know? Start working on it. If you need any ideas, hit me up, Oda. I got plenty. Let's see. Where am I at now? Mr. Bushido with the 5 euros. Do you think Harold was Domi reversied, or did Giants get sick of selling out to the Celestial Dragons? I think Shiki is an Elbaf, and maybe he got Giants to turn on him. I mean, are you talking about, like, whenever Harold got killed, like 14, like not here or God Valley, but 14 years ago? I don't think he got Domi reversied, because if you go back to that panel, he doesn't have like the big wings, or like, and none of them do. Not even his servants or whatever have like the wings, or like they don't look the same as everyone else did. When we go back and look, yeah, he doesn't have it, and like none of them have the wings. So like, I don't know if Domi Reversi automatically comes with demon wings, or if that's not like a requirement, but that is kind of the one thing that I point to where I don't think so. But I mean, I do like the idea that there's some Domi Reversi somewhere, but I don't think we've seen anything yet that would make me think that happened. I would be more inclined to believe that, like, the servants got Domi Reversied than Harold. Not because, like, because if Harold got Domi Reversied, who's stopping that man? I mean, you know, we're led to believe, like, Loki might have, but Loki also killed all of the guards that were fighting. So it's like, how did that... Like, I feel like it would have taken Loki and Jarl and the guards to defeat Domi Reversied Harold, but it seems like it was almost like Loki versus all of them. So I don't know how that all went down. So I don't know, honestly. I'm ready for that mystery to get answered, because I don't know. Now that Domi Reversied has been introduced, it feels like we're looking for some time it was used in the past, and I don't think we've seen one for sure yet, but we'll see. And you said, I think Shiki is an Elbaf, and maybe he got the Giants to turn on him. I don't think it was Shiki, but I could definitely see those sketchy elder guys, the silhouetted sketch, you know, the super suspect guys that were working with Estrid and stuff. I think those guys are behind it. I think they are like the smoking gun here. Like they've gone around and spread rumors about Loki having a curse and causing all these problems. They set up Estrid, who is just a bad person in general. They didn't want Ida in the castle. Like, these guys have already been kind of against what Harold was trying to do. So I think those guys getting involved is the most likely thing. And I could see those guys being like Domi Reversi giants. Like, I don't know if they'd be Domi Reversi'd like permanently because we don't know how it works, but they seem super evil. So something's going on with them. Let's see. Logout 717 with the $2 super chat. Perona and Toko have the same eyes and hair color. I've never thought about that ever in my life. Hold on, let me look. I off the top of my head, you're right. I'm gonna look this up though, just to see the similarity. Because like Perona's eyes are so unique. Well, I guess so. Toko's eyelashes are on the top, and Perona's are on the bottom. I don't know if that really makes a huge difference, but that is true. They both have pink hair. They are the same eyes though, with like giant pupils, pretty much. It's interesting. I think Perona just puts like eyeliner around, which is why there's another dark circle, but that is interesting. I've never really thought about that. And you know, the reason why that's interesting, and maybe this is why you super chatted it, is because now that we have this Kozuki Moria thing, and we know that Perona is obviously like working under Moria or like in the crew with Moria, like what if Moria got Perona from Wano? And what if Perona is Toko's sister? How old is Perona? 25. Oh, bro, no, that's crazy. So, how long ago did Moria go to Wano? Do we know the exact year? Because it was obviously after Kaido took over. Approximately 23 years ago, bro. So Perona would have been 2 years old when Moria pulled up to Wano. And if Toko... Wait, and Toko... Wasn't Toko... Hold on. Hold on 1 second. So Toko was an orphan, right? Because Yasu adopted her. So Toko and Perona... But, well, Toko's also way younger, so we have to figure out how that works, right? Because they wouldn't have been alive. But either way, the fact that Toko was an orphan later is making me think that Perona could have been one back then. And that's why Moria took her. Now... Again, the age discrepancy is big enough to where it's like Perona's parents wouldn't have been dead yet because if we assume they also had Toko. So I'm not sure how that all weaves together, but I really like the idea that he got Perona from Wano. That's actually really cool. Toko got sent forward by Toki, Elia said. That's also really interesting. Because remember for Momo and Hiyori, that's how it was. Is only one got sent forward and the other one stayed. That's kind of cool, man. That's kind of cool. I like that idea, Logout. That's cool. Mr. Bushido, Celtic is a sports team. Amen. I only know Celtic. Yeah, but if they spelled it with a K, then I'm down. But you know, I mean, and well, what's funny though is I don't even like the Celtics. They're one of my least favorite teams in the NBA. No disrespect to any Celtics fans in the chat, but y'all got enough championships. Y'all don't need any more. So, all right, I'll try to remember Celtic, but you know, but I say Celtic way more in my life, so that's gonna come out of my mouth first for sure. Vasil Vlad Ivanovici with 2 back-to-back super chats that are one whole message. Regarding your Gunko theory from your collab with Sai, what if her and Brook have their own unique song, and when Brook starts playing his violin, then Gunko tearfully sings her part, breaking free from Imu, in a panel similar to I Wanna Live, shouting tears of sorrow, joy, and freedom. I completely love that idea. 100,000,000% agree. And I'm glad you watched that collab with Sai, by the way. If you guys haven't, go over to Sai's channel and watch that, because I know we were cooking. And right after that, we recorded something for Redacted. We recorded a short chapter review, like I mentioned earlier, but my back was cooked by that point because I sat in the chair to record that, and I was done. I couldn't edit the rest of the day, couldn't edit the rest day, so I'm sorry that I didn't upload that, because we also had some really good theories in the thing that I recorded for my channel. But technically, I could still upload it, but it's for a chapter pass, so I don't know if anybody's going to be interested. But I'm glad you watched that, because, yeah, I love that idea. And I know I'm not the first one to say it. I know a lot of people have brought up the idea that basically Brook will somehow have a deep, you know, emotional connection to Gunko to be able to free her from Imu, which is kind of what we've already seen, because whenever Gunko first got taken over by Imu, the reason for that was that, like, Gunko was remembering things from Brook, right? Like, she said Brook and started running towards him. She said, had the father flashback thing, whatever. So we already know that, like, Imu's control or the brainwashing can be affected by this Brook memory thing. So I completely agree with you, and I love your connection here to the I want to live moment. Especially because Gunko should be like 70-something years old, but she looks like she's 20-something years old. So I wonder if there is going to be like I want to live, but in a different context where it's like, you know, if she's been brainwashed, like if she's like a zombie, for example. Like, I'm not saying that she is literally one, like she was killed and then given a shadow, but if she's kind of like that, where she's just, you know, like a brainwashed corpse or whatever who hasn't had her own conscious thoughts for a while, kind of like Sindri from Thriller Bark, except maybe not as directly a zombie. There could literally be like a I want to live thing, because she kind of had her life taken from her, right? Like, even if she's not actually dead, the past 50 years or 60 years of her life that she was supposed to spend having fun, sailing on adventures, doing whatever, hanging out with Brook if Brook never became a pirate, whatever it is, she didn't get to do that. But now she's seeing Brook here, who died and came back to life, which is another funny kind of parallel to I Want to Live, because he found a way to live even after he died. But it's like, now that he's back, she's like kind of getting those memories of like, oh wait, this was the life I was supposed to live. Like back when I enjoyed life and I enjoyed living, that's what I was doing, and now this person's back. Like, let me have this chance, right? So I love that, Vlad, 100%. And I think if that happens, if Brook sings a song or brings up some memories or whatever, and it kind of breaks through to Gunko and Imu, I'm telling you guys right now, that will be a top tier emotional moment in the story. I'm beyond question. Because for one thing, it's Imu, okay? Like, that breaking free from Imu is a massive deal. But if it's because of Brook and because of like music and this deep emotional stuff, and it, like I said, it pairs, or like you said, it parallels to this I Want to Live thing. I'm telling you guys right now, like, Oda is he's gonna have the waterworks working on all of us if he nails that scene, which I think he will. So be on the lookout for it. And maybe that doesn't happen. Maybe Luffy has a huge hockey, growth, and there's like a kind of like the rope moment from Egghead. Maybe Luffy does something like that and releases enough hockey to kind of kick Imu out of there, kind of like they kicked the Gorosei out of there. Maybe. But I don't know if Luffy's on that level yet, because he couldn't send the Gorosei back, and I would imagine that Imu's even stronger. So I really hope Brook is the answer. So I think you're cooking. I think you're 100% cooking. Rappo96 with the £5 super chat. Hi all, I'm late, I'm sorry. I don't think it's been told why Luffy in Gear 5 laughs all the time, and I start to believe that he is seeing or making a picture of what Roger found in Laugh Tale Island that made everybody laugh. It might be a memory from Joy Boy. That's interesting because, like, whenever Luffy goes into Gear 5th, he does start laughing just like maniacally kind of everywhere, right? And I think people kind of reason it's like, oh, well, he's in his most free form. It's awakening. It's, his heart's beating really strong, whatever. And I mean, that is like the reason in some context, but I feel like that doesn't necessarily explain why he's laughing so much exactly. And people have also brought up, and not that I necessarily agree with it, but they've also brought up like, it's like his personality changed a little bit. Like, is he being a little bit more like Nika? Because it's supposed to be the Nika fruit, and so if you have the will of Nika, like, is the will of Nika affecting him or something? That's like what a lot of the theories have been. But I like this idea that you're talking about, where like it might be a memory from Joy Boy, because I don't think Luffy is gonna know anything directly, right? Like, I don't know if he's gonna know literally what Roger saw at Laugh Tale, but the fact that Roger also laughed at Laugh Tale is showing that whatever Joy Boy's story was a funny one. And so there probably is a connection there, right? Like, I mean, his name is Joy Boy, so it's like laughing kind of goes hand in hand with that. So that's a really cool idea. Like I said, I don't know if it would be that he's seeing the memory exactly, like while every time he goes into Gear 5th, he's getting visions of whatever's at Laugh Tale, because that would kind of ruin the reveal of eventually going to Laugh Tale if Luffy's like, oh, I've already seen all this. But I still think there could be something there. Like I said, maybe like the will of Nika or whatever, and that could tie to the Joy Boy thing, or even the will of Joy Boy, because if Joy Boy had that fruit, then his kind of like how Ace's fruit, like after he ate it and died, and then Sabo ate it. I think Sabo said a few things like like Ace says hello, or I can't remember, but he mentioned Ace a couple times in relation to getting that power. So it could be the same thing where like maybe Joy Boy's will was kind of imprinted on the fruit a little bit, in which could lead to the idea that every zone fruit user affects the will of the fruit over time. Like every next user can change it a little bit, which I've definitely heard theories on that before. So so I think you might be onto something, honestly. And like I said, even if it's just the will being passed down, and so he's just laughing because maybe Joy Boy and Nika, whenever they went into Gear 5 in the past, they they were laughing because of whatever's in the story, but it just leads to this thing where, I don't know, every person who taps into the same mode gets in the same mindset, I guess. So I could definitely see that for sure. Izanami, you also said that he told Burgess Ace said he deserved it instead of letting him go. That too. And I think there was also something, and this isn't canon, but I think there was something at the end of Stampede as well. I think we like saw Ace's face in the fire or something, right? So I think it's a pretty cool idea, Repo, that like their will has been imprinted on it. And I think it would be even better if Luffy, like if somebody's like, Luffy, why are you laughing so much? And he's like, I don't know. And then we come to find out later it's because that's just what every awakened user has done, because typically when they awaken, they probably do funny stuff. Now, we see Luffy do it in battle a lot of the time, but maybe back in the past, people would awaken that fruit and do just fun, goofy stuff. Like, not to hurt, but just to have fun. And maybe that's where it originates from, so the will kind of imprints on it. So that's why you're laughing, even in the face of danger, because you're just having fun, because that's what the power has always done. But yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. I like it. Anthony Brewster, 2342 with the Canadian $14. Thank you very much, my friend. Now that we know Moria grew up in Wano, there's a good chance that Toko and Perona are sisters. By the way, I'm a huge fan of your content. Never seen someone have such One Piece knowledge and appreciation for supporters. Bro, thank you seriously for that. That really means a lot. And it means a lot that you said I have One Piece knowledge, because I like to think I do. But then, I get some comments here or there whenever I make a small mistake, and that's one thing. But also, like, I was doing this cover story video, and there were, and I've done multiple videos on the cover stories. I've definitely read them before. And there was even, like, 4 or 5 things when I was doing that video where I was like, okay, I did not know that, or I don't remember that. How did I not know that? And, I just was like, I don't know, I feel like there's so much information. Even whenever I do all these videos, there's still so much I don't know. So it really means a lot that you said that. And as well as appreciation for supporters part. That means a lot too, because I mean, I wouldn't be here without you guys. You know what I mean? Genuinely. But yeah, as far as the Toko and Perona thing, I don't know if you sent that before we talked about the comment earlier. Maybe you did, but I think there's a good chance too. We'd have to figure out how the parents work, because Toko is 19 years younger than Perona. So I don't know if maybe they were sent forward, which I think that would be really cool. I don't know, so maybe Toki, after sending Momo forward, because we don't know, because a lot of people have theories that Toki's still alive. So maybe Toki escaped from there and then sent Toko into the future. But maybe she sent Toko into the future when Toko was like really young, and that could be why she's an orphan, is that her parents died in the Kaido thing whenever Wano first fell. So now we have a whole theory on this. Now we've created the whole Toki and Toko, sorry, and Toki and Perona theory here. And so that would make me think that Toki could still be alive, which I like. It scares me, because then the timelines are like, who knows if the timelines matter anymore, because Toki can just send people forward who shouldn't be alive anymore or whatever. But either way, yeah, I like that idea. And as far as Moria growing up in Wano, I don't know if he grew up there, but he definitely was there, for the Kaido thing, and he must have made an impact, because it says his origins in the West Blue, his Viver card does. So he was born somewhere else. But when did he get here, right? because we were told, or from what we know, he went and fought Kaido and lost his whole crew, and then left, and apparently left invisibly because they think they think he actually died when he didn't. So I wonder what that story is. Like, did Moria just show up 20-something years ago, lose, and then leave? Or did he show up even earlier than that? And, like, was he, like, living there and we just didn't see him? And, which you would think Odin would have noted him, or, like, noted a race of Oni-like people. But, I mean, we also... I guess we don't know this for sure, but we know that Ors was found in a really cold place, frozen to death, and I don't think they said for sure that it was Ringo, but that's what a lot of people say, is that it was just in Ringo, and that's where we're at right now. And, you know, Ors and Moria tie really closely. Moria is also, like, part Oni, or whatever he is. He has the horns. So I don't know if there's, like, a story here of, like, ancient giants hanging out in Wano, and Moria connects to them. I don't know. But either way, you're right about the Toki and Perona thing. That's not a thing. Whenever I woke up today and I was getting ready to do this stream, and I was working on the cover story video, and I was walking my dogs, and I was thinking about random stuff, I'm telling you right now, not one time did it cross my mind that I'm gonna figure that Toko and Perona are sisters, and now I'm like convinced of it, which is just insane. Like, that's One Piece for you, man. There's so many theories that we still have yet to uncover. You know what I mean? Lucky Beetle with the $5. Did you know in Film Red, Noshjuro called Uta a Figarland? What if you're wrong about some of the Straw Hats versus Blackbeard matchups? Jinbei versus Burgess or no? As far as the Film Red thing, I forget exactly the way they word it, but what they're implying is like, well, if that's Shanks' daughter, that means she has Figarland blood, because Shanks has Figarland blood, right? So I think that's all that's implying. Like, I don't think they know who Uta's parents really are. They're just like, oh, well, if that's Shanks' daughter, then she would have Figarland blood, because they don't know that she was, like, adopted, right? She was found by Shanks. That's my understanding of it. It's like, they're not saying she is one for sure. They're positing, like, well, wouldn't she be one if she's really his kid? And then that might lead to them wanting her for some reason, because I mean, we don't really know how this really works with this half celestial dragon child thing, but I think that's the implication. Then you said, what if you're wrong about some of the Straw Hat versus Blackbeard matchups? Which I really hope I'm not. But you said Jinbei versus Burgess or no. For me, I think Frankie and Burgess is one of my most locked in fights. Like, if Frankie versus Burgess doesn't happen, I mean, I think, I don't know. I don't even know what to say. I think they fit so perfectly. They're both cyborgs at this point. They both have wrestling moves. I had the whole video on it. Burgess even has, like, what is it, the strong fruit or whatever. But I don't think Jinbei versus Pizarro is one of my stronger ones. I'd still think that one's the most likely, but I don't think the Jinbei one is that strong. But the thing that would really throw my Straw Hat versus Blackbeard matchups into a whirlwind is if the Straw Hats get more than one new member, or if the Blackbeard Pirates get a new member. Like, for example, in my matchups, I'm not counting Vivi, even though I do think she will rejoin the crew. I just don't see her having, like, massive fights. She is not a fighter. She's a more diplomatic kind of person, right? No peacock slashing in the Blackbeard matchups for me. But I do think Yamato will have a role there. But then let's say Loki joins. Then I don't know, because I think a lot of people would say Loki versus San Juan Wolf, because San Juan Wolf is giant, and like, he's a giant, and Loki is an ancient giant, so that might fit. But I also think that would be kind of lame that we're just having the two giants fight. It's like, I feel like it would almost be cooler if we had, like, one of our smaller members fight San Juan Wolf, and then Loki had, like, a different fight that was, like, not saying this would happen, but, like, him facing Kuzan could be kind of cool, because ancient giants and the cold are kind of go hand in hand, right? Like, the Gale Ra giants were frozen. Loki was in the realm of the dead. Ors was frozen. He froze to death and was kept in a freezer. Jaguar D. Saul, who's not an ancient giant, but still a giant regardless, was put into an ice time capsule. So, like, maybe that could be more fun to have the ice versus giant, and so, like, the ancient giant can finally conquer the ice for once, right? And I'm not saying that's even going to happen, but just, if we start getting more members than I think, then my matchups are then I got to review. Then I got to have a long review for sure. But I feel like Frankie versus Burgess is a strong one. But Jinbei, I could maybe be convinced for someone else if you had a good argument. Because like Pizarro, the main thing is like it's Island Man versus Fish Man. Like one guy is going to be stuck on land the whole time. One guy is going to be better in the water. Like how does that work? Also, Pizarro has like a cat aesthetic. He says meow and stuff. And cat versus fish is a trope that is done in a lot of different shows, but it was already done in One Piece with Jinbei versus Who's Who. So I thought that one made sense, but there's not a lot of like deep stuff with Jinbei and Pizarro, so I could be convinced otherwise. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what these new members, man. That I might have to do a whole set of new videos depending on who joins. If Loki joins in particular, I'm not even sure. A maxed out at a maxed out handle of 30 characters, super chatted 200. I am not sure what those are. And I can't, it doesn't say it. I just have the symbol. Can I highlight it? It doesn't let me highlight. Well, thank you very much, maxed out handle, for whatever those are. I am not sure. I should know my symbols better. You guys know I'm trying to, every time I see a new one, I'm trying to remember, and I don't remember that one. Usually it has like the letters that I can look up, but either way, thank you very much. You said from Reddit discussion that Gecko and Kozuki kanjis are inverse of another. Really? Gecko and Kozuki kanjis are inverses of each other? And Moria fought Kaido but lived while his crew died, and Oden did not fight, but he died and his crew vassals survived. That's really interesting. Gecko and Kozuki kanjis are inverses of another. Dexter, you said it's rupees, I think. I think you might be right. I know I've seen the symbol before, but either way, thank you, sir. And thank you, Dexter. And also, Dexter, while you're in the chat, and Kuso, hey, Kuso Land, how you doing, my man? I just noticed that you're here. Appreciate you for sliding in. If either of you guys can tell me more about the Gecko and Kozuki kanjis, that'd be awesome. Can you guys verify this? Kuso and Dexter they know what they're talking about. So if you guys have any extra insight, let me know, because that's incredible. If there's actually a connection between those. And you said so Moria fought Kaido but lived while his crew died, and Oden did not. Yeah, and it's crazy. Like Moria, their inverses were Moria fought Kaido and everyone died but him. And then for Oden, he fought Kaido, but he's the only one who died. Now, technically, there was a lot of other death if we're counting like the people of Wano. But remember, Oden went into like the boiling pot and held all of his scabbards above, and they were able to escape and everything, right? So they're actually complete inversions of one another. But that also makes it kind of funny that Moria is getting the credit from Wano for being like this great warrior who fought Kaido, when in reality he should not be revered at all. Probably, I mean, I don't know about it all, but if he let his whole crew die and he escaped himself and like didn't have the honor to die with them or whatever, I'm sure the Wano samurai would not like that. But he also took Ryuma's corpse and Shusui, which they definitely would not like. So that's a funny little story, I think. I love that. Damn, that's really cool. That is such a cool idea. Oh, hey Dexter, you said I don't know how to say them, but you have the kanjis there. You said that's how Kozuki is written, and if you flip the kanji so that you put it in the reverse order, it means moonlight, as in the actual word, which reads as gecko. That's crazy. That's crazy. And Leo Legendario, thank you. Kuso Land, thank you. That's crazy, bro. Oh man. But it does not mean gecko as like the animal gecko, which I think is what Gecko Moria means, right? But it can be said as gecko, right? I guess is what you're getting at. Like how the way you say light moon is gecko, but it doesn't mean gecko like the lizard. But either way, I think there's still something there. That's wild. That is so cool. That's thank you for super chatting that maxed out handle of 30 characters. That's phenomenal. That's phenomenal. Gecko is just how you'd say moonlight. Yeah, that's wild. S-Bat stocks are up. Vex, you are... Thriller Bark stocks are up, Vex. I mean, I know you already know that, but S-Bat... Well, and... So, what do we like more? Do we like S-Bat or do we like S-Gecko more? Because, like, I see most people say S-Bat, but, like, it should be S-Gecko. Like, S-Gecko, for me, like, because Gecko's literally in his name, like, he's, like, It's definitely going to be S Flamingo for Doflamingo because Flamingo's in his name. I really hope S Gecko should be the should be what we normalize. That should be the answer. But either way, that's incredible. That's a phenomenal catch. Nephilim, I'm not sure if I'm saying you right. Nephilim, you have 2 super chats back to back. I appreciate you very much. You have a 5 and a 10. First off, Rox had a crush on Emu, like Roger with Shaggy. Maybe that's why they chilled in the flower room. Maybe he said, "I'll be back to win her with a gift or a feat." Hey, if that ends up being true, I'm gonna owe you a whole bouquet of flowers, my friend. I definitely didn't get that vibe. But I know there's a ton of theories out there about Emu being a baddie, so I'm not gonna discount it like it's impossible. But because like whenever we saw Rox with Shaggy, he had the heart jumping out of his chest. I didn't get that vibe from Rox, but like I said, there's enough theories out there about Emu being a baddie or being Lily, which could be a cool story in and of itself. So if that ends up being true, I'm gonna owe you some flowers for that one. And then for $10, flowers straight out of the flower room, by the way. But then for $10, you said, so King of the World equals being with the Queen, Emu. Well, let me read the rest. Maybe Gorosei are the men who saw her true form, fell for her, and now follow her blindly. Same pull as Shaggy's charm on men, but stronger. I feel like King of the World is just the one who sits on the throne, right? Because, like, I mean, there might be a Queen of the World story if Emu has, like, the hots for Vivi. That's why Emu is requesting to retrieve Vivi. But, I mean, this all kind of hinges on Emu even being a girl, which, up to this point, that we've only used, like, the manga has only used male Celestial Dragon kanji for Emu. So I'm of the belief that Emu is at least, like, the mind of a man, maybe the body of a woman, like, because Emu took over somebody. But, so I think that's one thing is, like, there's that layer of it where the first thing has to be that Emu is even a girl that all these people fawn over. But it maybe it's just me, and I know I get a lot of pushback on this sometimes, so this might just be a me thing, but I don't know if I'd like it if the whole Emu story is like a love thing. Like if the most evil person, the top tier person we need to beat, which maybe that's Blackbeard at the very end, but as of right now, like the big bad that we've been trying to beat that's been ruling the world this whole time, like they've been doing it just because like they're hot. Like that, for me, I don't know if I'd like it. And I'm not saying it's impossible, because again, I know there are just so many theories about Emu being a baddie out there that it's not impossible. But maybe that's just me, but I don't know if I would like it. But with that being said, like, we've seen the Celestial Dragons time and time again, like, steal these women that are really pretty and like they get whoever they want. Like we saw Sharlos pull up the Saboti, just grab this woman off the street, make her his wife. You know, Shaggy being the treasurer of Hachinosu / God Valley now. Like, we know the Celestial Dragons are depraved in that way. But are they depraved enough to, like, kind of create the government based on it, right? Because, like, for Emu, like, if the Gorosei are like, yes, we'll follow you to the ends of the earth because we love you so much, like, is it gonna go that far? Personally, I'm not sure. But, again, I know I get a lot of pushback on that because some people like the idea that Emu is somebody everybody loves, or that Emu loved Lily and got rejected, or one way or another, it's a love story. And again, it might just be me, but I don't know. Trying to see. Oh, you know what? Hold on. I gotta refresh. My tabs are not wanting to to work well today. Chrome and Firefox are not working well. But I see a lot of people debating Emu's identity. Yeah, I mean, for me, the biggest thing is that the kanji's for a male. So I know there's a lot of people who say like Emu's I don't know, like we see Emu's hand. It look like, I see Miles here saying the hand might look like a woman's, or Emu's like a very slender figure in general. Like people point to all sorts of stuff, or like they try saying the voice sounds like a woman's. To me, the best evidence is the male Celestial Dragon kanji, because we've seen that used for Like, we've seen the male and female versions used, because we've seen male and female celestial dragons, and they do use the male. So I think that's the biggest evidence of all. But again, it could be that Emu has the mind of a man, which is why they're using those words, but the body of a woman. That's possible. So I don't know. The cake is a lie. Emu was the ramen guy from Naruto. See, these are the theories. These are the theories you only get here at Dak Sake. Emu is a cake and Luffy will eat her. Hey, you know what? I mean, we did see how important cake was for Big Mom. But yeah, either way, Nephilim. I don't know if I'm saying your name right. I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name, but either way, I mean, hey, I think the theory is super interesting, and you're probably going to get a lot of people hooked on that one, if based off what I've heard before. But just for me personally, I'm not sure if love is going to be that important. But I might be wrong. I've been wrong plenty of times before. Growth Stonks, member for 20 months. God Valley is on the horizon. Elbaf greater than Wano. I love that Growth Stonks has this agenda with Elbaf greater than Wano. I feel like all of your member messages incorporate that. And I love it because I agree. In that this isn't a time to just shit on Wano. We can do that another time. I've done it in a video. We were waiting for Morge's Wano analysis. But, you know, Elbaf is just cooking, man. Elbaf has everything I wanted and more. And the thing that Elbaf is doing that has me more excited for this than Wano is that both Elbaf and Wano had a ton of setup to where we went into the arc knowing what to expect. We knew like 3 to 5 to 7 big things that should have happened in that arc, people we were supposed to meet, plot lines that get wrapped up. Like there was a lot of build up to where, like, I can't wait till we get to Wano and see this or do this or beat this person, right? There's tons and tons of build up. Unlike, let's say, like Egghead. We didn't know Egghead existed until we were heading there. Whole Cake. We didn't know we were going to do that until we were heading there. But these other arcs, Wano and Elbaf, were separate. But the thing that's separating Elbaf from Wano for me so far is that Wano was good because of a lot of those built up things that we were looking forward to. Like we went in expecting a certain number of things, and we got a lot of them. We didn't get all of them, but we got a lot of them, and that's why it was good. Those things were peak. It roughly met expectations. But Elbaf, we've barely touched on a lot of the things that we were excited for coming into this arc, and instead Oda's built tons of other interesting things to make this arc interesting beyond the setup points, right? Like whenever we came here, I mean, I was pumped to meet Loki. That's definitely, you know, something that we already knew coming in. But I was mainly pumped because of the Lola thing, or I don't know, a variety of different things. But right away, it's like, oh, there's this legendary devil fruit that we don't know about. Oh, Loki has this hammer that brings down lightning, which there were theories about that, but like, I don't know, we're still learning it. Oh, Loki killed his dad, and we don't know the story of it. Like Oda met those expectations and surpassed them so far, which we're not done with Elbaf. Maybe by the end I'll change my tune, but as of right now, it's just there's so many expectations that can still be met or surpassed, but the way that Oda's building on all sorts of new things makes Elbaf better than Wano in my expectation, or by my estimation, I should say. So yeah, Elbaf, like we haven't even gotten to Usopp at all yet. That's one thing everybody's looking forward to. We haven't gotten there yet. But we haven't even seen the Heaven Realm yet, which people were coming into Elbaf saying that's going to be the summit of High West. But we have seen a 3,000-year-old lab that we never thought was going to be there. We found the mural, which we never thought we would see, or like we knew we'd get some lore eventually, but like Oda's hitting us with crazy stuff in Elbaf that we did not even know existed before we got on the island. And that's why I think it's so hype. Wano was like, I mean, there were some things, but for the most part, it was like, we could have reasoned a lot of that stuff was going to be there or was going to happen. Like Luffy getting put into a prison and finding some of the people and freeing them. And like all that's cool, but it's not like insanely new stuff. Elbaf has a lot of insane new stuff, so I'm all about it. Let's see. Mr. Bushido with the 208 super chat. Shiki alluded to him and Roger having chats in Chapter 0. Yeah, I think that's more of like, because Shiki was trying to get Roger on his crew, right? Like, he kept asking him, hey, if we team up, we're going to take over, blah, blah, blah. And so I think after Rox fell, Shiki probably asked Roger, like probably met him on the seas a bunch of times, like, hey, are you ready to join? You ready to join? Come on, let's do it. But I don't know if that means that, like, you know, I don't know where they would have been. They're just out at sea. Then maybe they just met, you know, happenstance. I mean, I guess Roger was looking for poneglyph rubbings for all that time, right? Because he already went to Lodestar before God Valley. So I guess the entire time he was looking for poneglyphs, Shiki just kept bothering him, probably, which is interesting. And it's also interesting because Shiki brought up the ancient weapon, and it's like, Shiki, why don't you just go look yourself instead of following Roger around? Which maybe is why Shiki, you know, isn't Pirate King level, I suppose. Rapo96 with the £5 super chat. Thank you, my friend. Reading One Piece and talking about One Piece has been my therapy, and being with this community and you, Dax, I couldn't ask for any more. Keep being you, bro. No, that made my day. Seriously, that means a lot. I hope you're doing all right, man. I hope this is helping you. And I mean, I think we all kind of feel the same way a lot of the time, where like One Piece is kind of an escape. You know, I brought this up before, but One Piece for me is, it reminds me of like football, in the sense of like when I used to watch football, it would give me, or fantasy football, it would give me a chance to talk to my friends every week, get an update with them. There was a chance to like celebrate what's going on and talk about events. And One Piece is the same thing. We get a chance to talk about our favorite stuff every week and catch up with each other, and, you know, get all these cool thoughts out and kind of escape from the world a little bit, right? Like, not only reconnect with people who are like-minded or, you know, have similar interests, but being able to escape the world into this, you know, world of One Piece that we love so much. It's amazing. So, you know, I think all One Piece fans understand the phrase when they say like, One Piece has changed my life. It's like, that might apply to everyone differently. Like, it may have changed people's lives in different ways, but I think everyone gets that meaning, where like, either the story motivated you in a certain way, or the community was like, you know, a group of people you needed at the time. Like, that's why I really love One Piece, man. Like, I mean, like, are there things that Oda could do that would make me a little disinterested in the story? I mean, probably. Like, it would have to be egregious, right? Like, I'm not saying like my theories are wrong, but like, maybe there are some egregious things Oda could do to make me be like, I don't know if I like this. But realistically, like, I'm going to be here to the very end, almost no matter what, because just the community is just so amazing. You know what I mean? It seriously makes my day. And I didn't get to go last week, but last week was also Anime NYC, which is something I went to the 2 prior years. And I got to meet all the One Piece creators and some of you guys as well. And like I said, I didn't get to go this year, hopefully next year. But like, even that's been amazing, getting to meet people in real life that, you know, I met online talking about One Piece, and then we go out to the bar together, go out to the convention, go get dinner together. Last year when I went, we had the Elbaf Feast. We just had, I don't even remember what we were serving. I don't remember much of that night in general, but a lot of fun. So Rapo, basically what I'm saying is thank you. I'm glad you feel that way, and I feel the same way, man. You've been around since like day one, Rapo. So seriously, thank you for all your support. Pulsar with the $5 super chat. Maybe Brook awakens his fruit and he's able to break Emu's control, like he could release the lifespan from Big Mom's homies. I completely agree with you. And I mentioned that in the Brook and Gunko video, I think. And I'm not saying you stole it. I'm not even the first person who said it, but I love that idea, because remember, Brook couldn't do anything to Big Mom and her homies, right? And I think with Emu, it's going to be the same thing, where like, I mean, I don't know if Brook, we'll see how much Brook can even impact like the Gods Knights or whatever in general, but I think his awakening is going to be the next step, where he's going to maybe call back to the Big Mom stuff and be like, you know, like, I remember I felt like someone's soul in another being back then, and I was able to free them, but I don't even know how he would word it, but I think he's going to call back to that and be like, now I feel like I can do it to anybody, and then he just like frees Gunko, and I don't know. Something like that I think would be really cool. It just builds on the Big Mom thing, which, remember, Big Mom is relevant to this arc. Like, Big Mom should pull up at some point. We also saw the homie shield Nash already, which was a little bit of a Big Mom reminder and homie reminder. And Mother Carmel was obviously really important to Elbaf. So Big Mom, I think, is going to pull up eventually, probably after the Emu stuff. And it would be kind of cool if Brook awakens and has this little call back to the Big Mom thing and is like, well, now I think I can free anybody. And then he frees Gunko or whatever. And then maybe Big Mom comes back and he's able to mess with Prometheus or something, like better than before, because he's like working on his abilities. And then maybe that's just how we learn about the soul in general. Because that's where I think a lot of this has to go, is like, when you die, where does the soul go? Brooke, what was the mechanism where your soul was able to come back? Can other people repeat that? What's the difference between your soul and the soul that Big Mom's using, which I think is like lifespan? But I want someone to talk about this, right? Like, also remember the 21 grams of soul that Vegapunk brought up when he was talking to Kuma? Well, Vegapunk and Kuma are both here on the island. They got to get fixed up. I mean, Vegapunk's got to get cloned and whatever, but there should be a soul discussion somewhere in the Elbaf arc. And I think Brooke awakening, freeing Gunko, and then getting to talk to Big Mom about it is, I think that makes a lot of sense, but I don't know. I don't know if that's going to happen. I hope it does, but it's like, I feel like I'm asking for too much. Adam Murray 7501. Adam, I just got your email about the cards, by the way. Thank you very much. Member for 22 months. Laughter is contagious, spreading joy. Nika's MO. Yeah, that's true too. And I like that idea of laughter being contagious, because that's true in real life, but even it might be true like in terms of, you know, Nika to Joy Boy to Luffy. It's like each one keeps like they're all, you know, because the last one was laughing, the next one's laughing, because that one's laughing, the new one's laughing. Like, I love that idea. So thank you. And Rapo, again, thank you very much, bro, with the £5 and then the £2 super chat. We know Luffy is a guilty free man and he cannot take situations seriously. So even if he's having a constant memory of what One Piece is, he can't understand. I like to think it's kind of I like to think it's a kind of memory. Yeah, it's like I don't see him being able to see, like, because we don't know what Roger exactly laughed at. Like, was he laughing at the story that he was being told? Was he laughing at like what the One Piece was? And I mean, the story was funny, but is what the One Piece was part of what's funny too? Like, we don't know that whole story, but I don't see Luffy, because like if Luffy is seeing all of the past, because remember Odin said, we learned of the ancient weapons, we learned of the Void Century, we learned of this. Like, I don't think Luffy can get all that information, but could he maybe be getting like the funniest part of it? Like, again, I don't think him seeing the One Piece is going to work, because that's going to mess with the ending, right? Whenever we go and see the One Piece, like Luffy's going to be like, oh, I already saw this before. Like, it should be a new thing, but I think there could be a part of it that's funny, that maybe it's something Joy Boy was thinking, like, when he died. Like, I don't know. Because even Luffy, remember when Luffy died, or not died, but was about to die to Buggy when he was about to get his head cut off? Even he smiled and kind of laughed like, well, I guess I'm dead. And so I think it might be something like that. But you're definitely right that, like, I mean, Luffy, he doesn't take anything seriously, so it's not like he's going to go and tell everybody whatever he's thinking. But still, it would kind of ruin the reveal of later if he's like, oh, I saw this stuff before. But maybe if there's a small piece of it, right? I guess that's what I'm getting at, is like, if there's a small piece of whatever Joy Boy was thinking whenever he died, or just some funny thing that happened, I don't know, that I could see. But and like you said, it's like a kind of memory, like yeah, if it can't be where he's like seeing the visions clearly, but I don't know, something passed down. It could be a little bit like this is actually probably what it is. Remember how S-Snake was acting like Boa, like how S-Snake thought Luffy was cute or whatever during Egghead, and Vegapunk ran over and started writing down notes like, whoa, wait, that stuck through because of lineage factor, blah, blah, blah. I've never seen this before. It could be the same thing where like Luffy doesn't even know what he's laughing at. He just knows there's something funny involving like the lineage factor of this fruit, and he's just reacting to it. I think that makes a lot more sense. Vasil Vlad Ivanovici with the back-to-back super chats again. Thank you, by the way. Whenever Blackbeard was about to die, he would never smile either, or you said headcanon. Whenever Blackbeard was about to die, he would never smile, either due to fear or pain. I believe that in their final fight, he and Luffy will create so much destruction, more than the ancient weapons even, getting pummeled to death, that this time he will smile, proud and satisfied. I love that so much. And I actually, I agree with kind of what you're saying, where like, well, for one thing, that their fight is going to cause so much destruction that like I don't know how everybody feels about this, but like I wouldn't be shocked if Luffy versus Blackbeard gets to like galactic levels of fighting, like where because Luffy can already turn giant. Blackbeard, I mean, he got like black hole powers, which is like space related anyway. Like, I don't know if they're going to go fight in space on a different planet. I don't know if they'll just be like just giants, you know, they'll just be the biggest things on Earth. Like, I don't know what it'll be exactly, but I feel like their fight will be so big time that like beyond the planet's gonna feel like the people on the moon will probably feel the hockey clashes or whatever coming from Luffy and Blackbeard. And maybe it'll literally be that they both get so huge they're grabbing planets and swinging them around at each other, which I think that'd be sick. There's actually, I think it's Parvision did a video where Luffy is reaching and grabbing a planet like in space. I think it's him. Like, and I don't even know what the video's about, but I saw that and I was like, that's what I want. And so I agree with that, by the way, that they're going to cause so much destruction fighting, which they aren't going to destroy the Earth, to be clear. Like, they aren't going to, like, I mean, Blackbeard wouldn't care, but Luffy wouldn't want people to get hurt during this, and that might be why they go to space to have this fight. Like, again, it could be on a different planet. Maybe they are just floating in space. I don't know. But I think that's where that's going to go. So I agree with that whole thing. And I like what you're saying about, like, how, like, Blackbeard won't smile until like that destruction kind of happens. And I actually think Luffy, like, it'd be kind of cool if in Gear 5 he finally frowns and gets serious because of that, because maybe Blackbeard destroys something and Luffy's powers couldn't stop him from doing it, and then he gets serious and Blackbeard starts laughing. I think that'd be kind of a cool twist, because we kind of expect the opposite, right? Or maybe they'll both just be laughing. I think that would also be fitting too, because they are both pirates. They parallel each other in a lot of ways. So I love that idea. I hope that happens. Just Dennis. Oh, wait, no. Alejandro Solis. Sorry. Then we're getting to Just Dennis. Sorry to jump the gun there. Alejandro Solis with the $2 super chat. Number one villain was woman Alvida. Final woman Imu. Yeah, I mean, that's honestly one of the better arguments, which again, the kanji for me is still like, I think that's the biggest thing. But yeah, I mean, the first person Luffy fought was a woman. And so having the last person Luffy fights be a woman could make sense, which I feel like Blackbeard's going to be after Imu, so that parallel doesn't work exactly, but it still fits the theme where Imu's like final boss, you know, potential. And I like it, man. I do. And there's also the story of like Alvida, you know, got the what's it called again? Is it, I forget what it's called now. Smooth fruit, I think. The Sube no Mi smooth fruit. Yep, okay. Or slip fruit, as the Viz says. There is kind of that story of her, you know, getting that fruit and then becoming, you know, this like hot woman or whatever. And so maybe Imu had the same thing where like, I don't know, like maybe Imu just wasn't wanted by the people they wanted, and that's part of why they took over the world. But again, like that's gonna make love like the whole story of this. Like somebody was so upset that they didn't get who they wanted that they took over the world, and like not that that's impossible. I just feel like that's not really One Piece's angle. There's usually other stuff to it. Like love can be a part of it. Like maybe Imu wanted to take over the world, and amidst doing that fell in love with Lily by being around her so much, and then maybe he killed her because he couldn't get her. Like there could be some part of it, but if the origin is love, that's where I'm gonna get a little iffy on it, because I would hope there's like another reason. But either way, yeah, I unironically do think this is one of the better pieces of evidence, or just, it's not even evidence, but one of the better parallels to think of what could make Imu a woman, because it does kind of fit. Let's see. Just Dennis won with the 4,000 Huff. I know, I'm gonna look it up. Hold on. It's Hungarian something, right? What is, I don't want to look. I know I looked it up before. Forint. That's it. Forint. I'm going to remember this, man. Because it's HUF. Hungarian Forint. It's like, it's right there. I'm going to remember next time. Anyway, you said, hi, tuning in a bit late, which totally okay. Have you discussed Newgate being sus and potentially being traitor for Rox's crew? Everyone loves him. Would be such a troll from Oda. Also, love your content. Fire videos. Love from Hungry. Just Dennis. I appreciate you for saying that. Thank you very, very much. And I don't even know what 4,000 Florence translates to, but either way, thank you very much for that donation. We haven't talked about Newgate being a traitor just yet. We did talk earlier about how he walked away, and they're like, put it on Newgate's tab, and he's like, no, put it on Rox's tab, because it's a little bit of a callback to how Whitebeard like sent all of his money back to Sphinx Island, right? Which is so awesome. But we didn't really talk about him being a traitor too much. And I mean, I'm like kind of 50-50 on it, because like Newgate's obviously like a good person, probably the best person on the Rox pirate crew, right? But while that might make you think he'd be a traitor because he doesn't like the bad stuff going on, it could also be reason for the opposite, that he is such a good person that he wouldn't betray somebody that he swore loyalty to, right? Because you also think back to Blackbeard killing Thatch and how that was like the ironclad rule you can't do on a pirate ship. It's like, well, if Whitebeard did that, like, that'd be a really cool twist, but just kind of like I'm saying, it's like a 50-50. Like, that'd be a really cool twist, and it would kind of make sense for the good person to go against the bad people, but the good person also wouldn't hurt their friends and stuff, or the people they swear loyalty to. So I'm like 50-50. But I feel like there is somebody who is a traitor for Rox. It could be all of them, honestly. Wang Ji was always my go-to answer, and now that it looks like he might be Caribou's dad, I think that could be even more likely. Because, like, and Caribou's just a slimy dude, right? I mean, he rode around with the Straw Hats, got the ancient weapon information, is now giving it to Blackbeard. Like, he's already kind of suspect. So it might be kind of a reverse where, like, Wang Ji betrayed Rox, and now Caribou loves Blackbeard. Maybe Caribou is actually trying to betray Blackbeard, which I would prefer, but who knows? So I'm a little 50-50, but, I mean, I think I was saying earlier, though, that what I really want is just more insight into what Newgate is thinking. Like, I want to know his mindset while being on this crew. Like, because if he is a good person, he probably doesn't like what they're doing. But by the same token, like, he is a part of the crew and still doing it and helping them. So I really want to get some context for him. Probably more than anybody. Like, I don't really need more info on what Big Mom thought about Rox. I mean, it'd be cool if Oda wants to do it. I'm not going to complain. But Kaido, like, I don't need that much more info. I mean, Shiki and Silver Axe, I feel like we might need a little info on, like, their history, but there's no one that I really am, like, dying to get their insights into how they feel about the world other than Newgate. So I hope we get that. And if he's the traitor, that's cool. That's cool by me. You know, I'm not going to complain. Big Cheap, member for 23 months. We're almost at 2 years, my friend. I wonder if Whitebeard disregards Stussy because she convinced him to be a traitor, selling information about Rox alongside her. He feels guilty, and seeing her face reminds him of that. That's interesting. I didn't really read it that way. Let me go back and kind of look through it again. See, I guess for me, like, I don't know. Do you guys think Stussy is doing, like, selling information about, or, like, giving information about Rox? Because I feel like Stussy hates the government, right? I don't think she's a huge fan of them. So I don't know who she'd be giving, like, information to. Like I can't see her wanting to help the government more than, like, helping Rox. Or the main thing she wants is for Rayleigh to come steal her, I think. But I don't know. I guess I wasn't getting that vibe, but I'm curious if you guys are, because I'm not. But, or sorry, you said Stussy. I'm thinking Shaki. I'm sorry, Stussy also. I was thinking Shaki. I'm sorry. And also, hold on, everything's frozen again. So give me a second. Hold on, everything froze. Give me a second. I'm sorry. I don't even know if this happens to anybody else. My tabs never freeze until I'm on a stream, and then they freeze every 5 seconds for some reason. I also have Chrome up, so it's not a Firefox thing. I guess it might be because I'm streaming, and so it's just taking so much of my internet speed maybe to do that. I don't know. Hold on, it's frozen. Give me another second. All right, okay, nope. Okay, we're back now. Sorry about that. Okay, let me go back and reread it. Okay, so you said Stussy because she convinced him to be a traitor. See, I also don't get that vibe from Stussy personally. I was thinking Shaki earlier, but like, I haven't seen anything that makes me think that. Like, I know the fake, not the fake Stussy, the clone Stussy ended up working for Cypherpole, but we don't really know, like what the original one was like, you know, because like she ended up, like, I guess her son Weevil ended up becoming a warlord, so maybe she wanted to work with them. But I also feel like she doesn't hit me like somebody who likes the government either, I guess is what I'm getting at. The original. The clone is another factor. So I don't know. Going back to what I was saying with just Dennis, I mean, I can see Whitebeard wanting to betray them, but it's just he's also a good guy. So I'm very torn on that whole thing. Like, I'd be more open to believing that Whitebeard helped like finish off Rox at God Valley than he was like selling information the whole time, because then he's just like a rat the whole time, and I don't know if it's just like if Whitebeard wanted to get rid of Rox, I feel like he would just do it like in one fell swoop. Which is why at God Valley I think he'd be more likely to betray him there, because it's like, we finally have a chance to get rid of this guy. He's really bad. I'm tired of working for him. Let's just do it. But if he was like selling information the whole time, but yet Rox is still running shit and like, controlling the world, it's like, I'm a little iffy on it. So I don't know. And Dexter, you said, I don't know who'd be the traitor. Most of them seem like they know what it means to be a part of the crew, even if they didn't join voluntarily. Exactly. That's like it. Like, I think all of them, I feel the same way. Where like, I could see them be a traitor and even to help kill Rox, but I could also see none of them being a traitor because they're pirates and they're in this group, and every big haul that the Rox pirates get, they get a chunk of that. So like, they kind of win every time, they like Rox gets a score. So it's like, what are they ratting out? Like, the thing that made the most sense to me back in the day was that somebody ratted out like about the treasure, but now that we know it's Shacky and it seems like the world knows she's there, it's not like a secret that treasure is there. But I was thinking in the past, like, maybe when Rox was gone, one of the Rox pirates let the Celestial Dragons come in and take the treasure, which I thought was the fruits, but I guess the same could still exist for Shacky. So that would make a little more sense, because that's like a traitor action that's literally leading to his downfall. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm very torn on the traitor situation. PNSPF super chatted 5 CHF. Oh, I gotta look those up now too. I know I've looked these up before too. Let's see. Before I look it up, see, now that we just had the Hungarian Florence, all I can think is Florent for F, so I don't know. Swiss franc, that's it. That is it. I should have known. Thank you very much, PNSPF. I appreciate you. Do you believe we will have a mid-arc break like Egghead where we can see all the events happening right now in the world? I hope so, man. I really, really hope so. I don't know, like, when that would happen, though. Like, because even in Wano, we had that a few times. And there's other arcs that have done this too, but you think about Wano, Oda did that between the act breaks, right? After Act 1, we had, what was it? We had Moria pull up on Hachinosu, and then I think Blackbeard said, like, let's set sail, boys. I think that was the after Act 1. And then after Act 2 was where we got the Rox reveal, I think, right? That Rox even exists. And I think we had another important one. I can't remember exactly, but then during Egghead, we obviously had several times we dipped away from Egghead to see stuff around the world. So I really hope so, man. I really, really, really hope so. I think that the time that would make the most sense is like if we're able to send Emu out of there, like if Brook awakens and does it or plays a song, whatever it is, and then Emu gets out of there and we're able to solve the Domi Reversi, that'd be like a second to breathe for a little bit. And then maybe like all of the Straw Hats are really tired and passed out. So then we just dip away for a few chapters to go see the rest of the world while they heal up, and then we can catch back up with them and they're all awake. Like, that seems like the right time to have a little bit of a break. And I think what would hit even harder is if the time dilation thing is true, which we don't know that for sure. But if time outside of the world moves faster than at Elbaf, then after we figure out the Emu thing, that might mean several days have gone by outside of Elbaf. So there'd be a lot of stuff to catch up on. And if we send Emu back, then that's how Oda would show us what happened in Marigewa. Is like we see Emu pop back over there, and then maybe when Emu does, Blackbeard's in the flower room, and Blackbeard's like, "Told you I would come back," and because it's like calling back to rocks. That's like ideal, but that's kind of what I'm thinking. I mean, I don't know when else there would be like enough of a break, because like in Egghead, Oda kind of forced a break where it was like the nighttime when there was a lot of stuff going on, but he kind of skipped over it when like Robin and Chopper and them were fighting some of the Seraphim, as well as Zoro and Kaku, and I can't remember everything, but he skipped over that whole night, and I think we got some of it in the anime, if I remember correctly, but that was like Oda kind of forced a gap in time there to show us everything else. So with Emu here, I don't know if he can force it as well, but once Emu's gone, maybe that'll make sense. Just call me Scott 2312. I just saw you said the big question is, can S Gecko read the poneglyphs? I mean, I'm curious why he would. Like what would that mean that like Gecko Moria can read them? Because are you saying because he's Kazuki Moria? Like if he is actually related to them, which I don't think is the case, but if he was, and actually. Well, okay, so I was thinking back to that Gecko and Kozuki flipping thing. Because remember in Wano how Kinemon misunderstood the symbols for the Wano raid? Like he thought it meant Tokage port, but it actually meant a different one. I can't remember the specifics, but that's how we got the Kinemon like 5D chess genius face meme thing. What if the same thing's going on with Moria, where like it said Gecko Moria, but the kanjis got flipped somehow? I don't know how that would really happen. So they thought it was Kozuki Moria, but it's actually Gecko. But I don't think that would actually make sense, right? Because like I don't think the Gecko in Moria's name uses the same kanji. It's just like it sounds like Gecko. I can't remember. I'm not that good at Japanese, but that'd be kind of funny if that happened. But if he actually is related to the Kazukis, which he's born in the West Blue, so I don't think he was. Because how old is he? Because we know like a band of Wano samurai moved to the East Blue, but I don't think we do the West Blue, and he is 50, so he's 55. I think it was 55 years ago. A group of Wano samurai left Wano. So technically he could be related to them if some of them went to the West Blue, but I don't think that happened. And like he also has the horn, so it would be like he's only part Kozuki, but and I don't think we know that any Kozuki left Wano, right? Because it was the Shimotsuki, I believe. I don't think we know for sure any of them were Kozuki because also remember the Kozuki family almost like ran out of like heirs to the throne. Like Sukiyaki was like a miracle child in that regard, so I don't think there were a lot of Kozuki back then. There could have been like his uncle or something could have left and maybe done it, but maybe they were getting worried for the prosecution that like they would get if they didn't have a child, because like then somebody else would take over. I don't know. Dexter, you said you're not wrong, Dak. It uses a different alphabet, most commonly used for loan words, phonetics, and such. Gotcha. Yeah, someone probably gave him the name. That's what I'm thinking, Time Lord. I'm thinking they, like, somebody found him and made him, like, an honorary Kozuki because he fought Kaido and stuff, which, like, Odin also did and whatever. So it's like, oh, he was acting like Kozuki Odin. Maybe he's Kozuki Moria, I guess. Nephilim with the $5. He said, what if Moria... Oops, sorry, I just messed that up. What if Moria did the same thing that Yamato is doing? Yamato wants to be Odin, and Moria is trying to be a Kozuki. That's kind of interesting, because, like, it would have been really hard to do while Kaido was still there, but, like, part of what Odin did while he was traveling around was he was helping people and, like, fixing up the country. Remember, he went to Kuri, which was like a lawless land of a bunch of bandits, and he beat Ashura Doji and turned that place into like a prosperous place and got them to fall under him and all that kind of stuff. And now Yamato's doing the same thing, going around and, you know, obviously getting scabbards, helping people, saving Page One and Ulti or whatever. And so it's kind of the same thing. Like taking down Who's Who is kind of like taking down Ashura Doji back in the day. And so I guess Moria could have maybe done something similar. Like went there, saw everyone was starving because he went there 2 years after Kaido took over. So it would have been kind of bad already. And maybe tried helping people and whatever. So he's like respected in that way. Even if he didn't do it in the goal of being like Oden, which he could have. I mean, you know, this is one thing, going back to the idea that Moria can read the poneglyphs. One thing that might open the door for that possibility is something that I've been saying for a long time for Blackbeard, because I think Blackbeard can definitely read the poneglyphs. And whenever I know in the videos where I've said that, which I didn't have this piece of evidence I'm about to say for it, but where I've mentioned that, I've always gotten a lot of pushback saying like, there's no way he would have, it's too secretive, even though he likes history, like, blah, I don't know, just, you know, just people just disagree with it a lot of the time. But the best piece of evidence that I always should have been saying is that Blackbeard and Oden were on the same ship at the same time. So all Blackbeard had to do was tell Oden, hey, teach me that language. And I like literally teaching it to the full point where he understood it would probably take a while. But I mean, if Oden just wrote him a book of like, here's what all the symbols mean, like here's like a Rosetta Stone essentially, or, you know, here's like a few things you can study to learn it or whatever, like I think that opens the door for more people to know it than we think. And so now the question becomes, well, how would Oden have potentially, or Blackbeard, but probably more like Oden, or another Kozuki have ever helped Moria? And that I don't really know. I mean, Moria was alive and probably a pirate around the time that Oden was sailing, and if he went to Wano and fought Kaido, maybe he looked up to Oden in some way, and that makes me think like maybe Oden ran into Moria on Roger's journey, like when Roger was sailing around, and like how he met Frankie. Maybe he met Moria at some point and helped him too. I don't know, but the fact that I think the Blackbeard thing is relevant means there could be more people that know it than we think. Because for a long time it was just Robin, and then we met Sukiyaki, and Momo doesn't know it yet, but I think Momo's probably learning from Sukiyaki, so that should be another person. So like the list is growing of people who can read it. So and also the Third Eye Tribe thing, which that is like, you know, that is not, we've never even seen that work, but we know that's a thing that's supposed to work. So Andrew Wright, you said, why would he need pudding if he could just read them himself? He wants the devil fruit, right? He wants to use her fruit because that's all he does is hunt devil fruits, and he wants her to use the memory powers to either access Garp's brain to get God Valley information, or just access anyone's brain that has connections to the past to figure things out. Or hell, even if he doesn't know the language, like remember, Pudding has not awakened her third eye. So, and Big Mom has given up on her awakening her third eye. So it's kind of already very questionable for him to go get Pudding to read them anyway, because he could go get Robin instead, and Robin can literally read them. But he could also use Pudding's memory powers to just, you know, get, like, I don't know, if Robin, maybe he could, because like if Robin is unwilling to explain them, make Pudding get the information on how to read them or something, or go get Sukiyaki and do the same thing, or just force Sukiyaki to do it. Like, there's a lot of other ways to get the language, but so I don't think he got Pudding to awaken the third eye. I think it's definitely for the devil fruit. Or I don't know if this would work. I doubt it would, but like, it would be kind of cool if Katarina Devon could turn into Saturn, and then you get Saturn's memories out of it. I think that would be, oh man, that'd be the craziest flashback in One Piece if we could see like Saturn's life. You know what I mean? That would be crazy. I doubt it works that way, because like it's still Katarina Devon on the inside, but hey, if that did work, that'd be crazy. Other options though, I mean, if they bring zombies back, that's another cool idea. Like, for instance, if they go and get Odin's corpse, let's say they go and get Odin's corpse, put a shadow into him so he's alive, can you then use the memory fruit on Odin and learn the language that way? Because then you also have, or just tell the zombie to do it. Like, will the zombie remember it because they do it in their prior lives? I don't really know. But there's just a number of ways where you can get that information, I think. I really doubt that the Pudding thing is just for the third eye, because her devil fruit's too OP, man. Her fruit is insane. Like, if you use that on the right person, bro, you're spoiling One Piece. You know what I mean? And also Kuso Land, you said perhaps to inject a memory into someone. That's also something I really want to see at some point. Like, because like we see her pull the film reel out, and she can like cut parts out of it so you don't remember things or whatever. Because like with Reiju, like she didn't remember all the details of the night wherever she got hurt and stuff. But if you could like take out a bit of like you took out the translation memory, like Robin learning the language or whatever, and put it into your brain, then do you just know the language? I feel like with One Piece logic, probably. The stronger the body, the longer the shadow takes to obey, if I remember correctly. Correct, Vex. Well, I think it's also the stronger the shadow too, right? So I don't know if you would maybe want to put like a really weak shadow into Odin's body, and then they would just obey because the shadow's given in right away. But yeah, and I think that idea is really cool. Like, and it makes me wonder for Moria, going back to whoever said it earlier about him maybe, being able to read the language. What if that's like part of why he got Ryuma? I mean, definitely part of it is, he's really strong and it's going to be a good zombie for him to use, blah, blah, blah. But, he's not a Kozuki, but he is like a old Wano samurai, and I wonder if more of them knew the language back in the day, maybe. Because the Kozuki made the poneglyphs, but I don't know if that necessarily means they were the only ones who knew the language, per se. So that could be another thing. Or, again, maybe he took an old Kozuki body and we just don't know yet, and that was the purpose of it. I don't know. Dexter, you said you just got a cramp in your pinky. I am sorry. That's rough. That's rough. Yeah, you got to amputate it, Dex, as Vex said. 100%. That's unfortunate. Speaking of pinkies, not pinky fingers, but pinky toes. My guy Max Strus on the Cleveland Cavaliers is out for 3 to 4 months with a pinky toe injury. So heal up, Max. That makes 2 Cavaliers down with toe injuries. So it is what it is. But hey, we're only 2 months, less than 2 months till basketball starts up again. Then I'll be able to talk about basketball all I want. Which I'm going to the home opener again. You guys can see if you guys can see it right here. Is that? Yeah, that's the home opener from last year. So I'll be changing that towel here in 2 months. Gigi, oh, that's hilarious. Gigi, I was gonna make a joke about Max Strus, my beloved, but I didn't know if you were here. And all I said was one word about Strus, and Gigi's back in the chat. Yeah, Strus is out for 3 to 4 months. And actually, he could be back sooner, but 3 to 4 months is like they're going to give him a longer time to heal because, fun fact, it's called a Jones fracture. It's like the side of your pinky toe. There's like a really, really small bone that has like barely any blood flow to it. So whenever it breaks, it doesn't heal on its own, basically. So you have to go get surgery to have this small bone heal. And they usually put a screw in it, and it has to heal right the first time, because if it doesn't heal right the first time, it'll just stop healing, and it'll just hurt for the rest of your life. So it's like a really, really, really small injury, but it takes like a lot of tedious work to heal correctly, which is just, I feel like it's an interesting science thing. Kevin Durant had it, and he missed a lot of time. Zion Williamson had it, missed a lot of time. But some people get it and miss like a month and come back, so it's kind of cool. Vex, sports. Hey, we love sports around here, man. Also, Ethan Anderson, he said, much love, everyone. Hope you all have an excellent rest of your day. Hey, you too, man. Thank you for sliding in, Ethan. I appreciate you. Appreciate all you guys for being here. And it feels like we've hit that part of the stream. Oh, and YHW just subscribed. Thank you, YHW. We are getting so close to 100K subs. It's kind of wild. We're at 95,782 as of this exact moment. So we are about 4,200 away, which I think is just... That's insane, man. That's insane. I can hardly believe it. Thank you guys again. 100K is going to be fun. Whenever we hit 100K, we're going to have a giveaway. Do I have... Damn, I don't have one near me. I'll be giving away... Maybe I can show a picture. Yeah, you know what? I got it on eBay. I'm selling... Because I have a few of them, so I can show you one of these. I'm giving away... not that picture. It's not going to be this exact one, mind you, but... Oh, geez, that's a huge picture. Okay, well, let me just shrink this down. But I'm going to be giving away one of these. If you guys are into graded cards at all, This is a PSA 10 Luffy promo card. I'm going to be giving away one of these at 100K. These are, at least right now, worth around $300, which is awesome. So I'm going to give away one of those. I'm going to give away some other One Piece cards because I have a few boxes that I've been saving for 100K. We're going to do like a huge opening, and most of the cards will be going to you guys. And I got some other stuff to give away once we hit 100K, which I got to like do an announcement. Like the point of giveaways is to convince you to subscribe so we hit the goal so people can get the giveaway items. I have not promoted this at all. I just want to give the longtime subscribers some gifts, apparently, which I probably will mention it when we get like a little closer, but either way, I mainly want you guys who've been around forever to get most of this anyway. But you guys can't see it, but behind Vista here, which I got that from Hidden Island a year ago, appreciate it. But behind it is a plush. Actually, it's okay. You can see this one. So behind it is one of these, which is the Artur plush. It's the Globe plush. I think he's doing a second run of these, but this is the original run. So I'm going to be giving away one of those. There was only like 500 made or something like that, or 1,000. I can't remember. So we're giving away one of those Artur plushes. Giving away a Laboon plush. You can see him. I have a backup one that is like perfectly clean, but there's a big Laboon plush up there. Giving away one of those too. So we need to hit 100K, guys. If you haven't subscribed, you just got all the evidence you could ever ask for to finally subscribe. Gaimon cosplay. I'm saving that for Anime NYC. Once I mean, I'm trying to envision how that would even work, because I have thought about it and I've had trouble thinking it, because like I got to be able to walk, but I also want it to look like I'm stuck in a chest. And so it's like, maybe I need to like, I don't even know, like maybe I have to like get like a box, like get in a wheelchair and get like in a box around it so I'm able to like wheel myself around so I'm like a little bit shorter. I don't know, but I've been wanting to. But yeah, so Brogy cosplay, that one would be a lot easier. I just got to get like a little, I mean, I guess I could grow out my beard and dye it, but mine doesn't really look anything like Brogy, so maybe not. But that would be hilarious. Vex, you said slabs. Return the slab. That is my favorite. And I know that's not what you were saying, by the way. You were talking about PSA slabs, but return the slab. That's whenever PSA takes a long time to return my cards to me, because they took like 4 months for this last one, I just want to like send them like an image, like a GIF of the Courage the Cowardly Dog thing. It's like, return the slab. Big Chief, you said, dude, if you do Brogy, I'll do Dory. Hey, Big Chief, I don't want you to show me up, man. I've seen your cosplays. Yours are too clean, which maybe you can just help me with mine. Honestly, you might that might be a better starting point. But yeah, I mean, I do want to do a cosplay for the next convention I go to, which I don't know if I'll be able to for sure, but I kind of want to try Anime Expo next year, the one in LA that takes place over the first week of July. I usually can't go anywhere the first week of July because like the area that I live in, they shoot fireworks the entire week of the 4th of July. Like, it's not just the 4th, it's the 3rd, the 2nd, the 1st, and the 5th, the 6th, the 7th. And my dogs are terrified of fireworks, so I tend to just stay with them because I don't want to like leave them and just, you know, be scared. Because I mean, I don't even know if I help that much. They are like so terrified of them, it's kind of sad. But I never want to leave. But I'm gonna see if I can come up with a plan this year to go and not feel bad. Maybe I'll just like leave them with my mom or something. But I want to go there and do a cosplay there. Because also last summer, or like, I guess I shouldn't even say last summer, the summer we're in, 2 months ago, there was the One Piece like promo day for the Los Angeles Dodgers. And I mean, I want to go to a One Piece Day game. Like, they're always in LA because LA's like, that's like where, I mean, like, you think about the Dodgers, Shohei Ohtani's there. It's probably one of the closest places to Japan to fly to. So there's a lot of Japanese players and fans and stuff who focus on LA. And that's where all the One Piece games are. So I want to go to one of them. And at the Dodgers one that was like 2 months ago, they actually gave away a Dodgers One Piece card that Oda drew specifically for the event. So it's like the second card, I think, that Oda drew like just for the TCG, because they use panels and stuff that Oda drew, but that doesn't really count. Like, it's unique art for the card. And that card was given away to every person who had a ticket, and the card is $500. And I'm not doing it just for the money. I want the card, but it's more like I don't know if I want to pay $500 for the card, so maybe I should just pay $500 to fly to LA for a day or two and go to the game. You know what I mean? Then it'll pay off for itself. So I want to go and get one of those for sure. And maybe Oda will be there one time, and then he probably won't do any appearances, but if I can be in the same building as Oda once, I think that'd be cool. Also, we got a super chat from Cloud Lizard, the OG. Heck yeah, thanks for helping me finish the end of my shift. On Drum Island, Luffy says people from Winter Islands never sleep because they'll freeze to death. Think there's potential. It's important. 100%. He's definitely referring to Blackbeard, 1,000,000%. Because remember, Shanks mentioned that too, like, oh, he doesn't sleep. And we also see in the one image that Oda drew of Blackbeard, like as a child, when he's like looking at the moon, there's snow at his feet. So we can reason that Blackbeard's from a snowy place. Now the question is, where is it? Because we actually just skipped over it, right? Like Blackbeard, we skipped over Blackbeard's birth, because now we're at 39 years ago. So I think there's definitely something important there. So like Blackbeard, I don't think Blackbeard's from Drum per se, but he is from a Winter Island somewhere. And he's also born at what it was called Shade Port, I believe. So now we got to find out where that is, like what island Shade Port is on. So I don't know. And as far as like what that means, I did do a video on it. I can't remember everything I said in that video. Maybe I should do an update one now that we know Rox is his dad. But I did do a video on that, and I can't remember everything I said. But I think where it's going is that when Blackbeard falls asleep, he transforms. Like, I don't know if it means Rox comes back. I don't know if it means he gets like a zone transformation, he awakens. I'm not sure what exactly it is, but I think that's like at least what scarred Shanks is. Blackbeard was about to lose, so he fell to sleep. He fell asleep, unlocked his ultimate trump card. That scarred Shanks, and that's why Shanks is like very wary of Blackbeard, because he's like, hey, this whatever form he gets whenever he wakes up is just, or whenever he falls asleep, is just crazy. So yeah, it's going to be extremely important in my mind. You also said cool foreshadowing Kuzan's importance on his crew. I wasn't even thinking about that, but maybe because Blackbeard's like familiar with cold weather, I guess. I was more so thinking something that I know his name was Joy Boy like 511. I can't remember exactly, but he had a comment a couple streams ago about how Kuzan could it could be a tie to the frozen Punk Hazard Giants. Like maybe he's going to help Blackbeard unfreeze them. It could also be a reason why Kuzan was on Punk Hazard at all, like right after we left there. But I think that could be part of it too, is that he needs to unfreeze these other people. But maybe it also ties to the Winter Island. I really wasn't thinking about that either. Maybe the reason that Blackbeard's home island is a Winter Island is because a past user of the Ice Fruit awakened on it, like we saw at Punk Hazard. So maybe a past Kuzan, made Blackbeard's island cold, which would be kind of cool. So yeah, no, that's something that I'm waiting for that to come back. Like there's no question that that's going to be important, because remember, Blackbeard's whole thing is about dreams never die, but he doesn't sleep, so he never dreams. So I think the times that he does dream, or like, actual dreams, not like daydreaming, I think he's going to bring those dreams to life, quote unquote, which is like, he's just going to power up. He's going to get some special powers whenever he falls asleep, I think. You said, yeah, 100% Blackbeard pulled a Hakuba. Yeah, definitely. And it's definitely a good parallel to think of. Now, are those the same? Like, are Cavendish and Hakuba the same thing as Blackbeard and Blackbeardaba? I don't know. I kind of doubt it, but they're definitely parallels, or those storylines are tied in some way. I don't know what the origins are. I don't even know who Hakuba is. What is... I know it's like the alternate ego or whatever, but like what causes that? Is it just some weird schizophrenia? Is there like a ritual that they went under? I don't know what the origins of it are, but yeah, it's something like that. Definitely. Oh yeah, Vex, you also said Whitebeard also fought in his sleep. Oda level foreshadowing. That's true. That's true. Remember, Ace went to go after Whitebeard when he was sleeping, and Whitebeard still still cooked them. So, and actually, I bring this up in the cover story video that I'm doing, or at least I think I did. I know I put it in the script at some point, but I bring that up because in the cover stories, Garp falls asleep right in front of Axe-Hand Morgan, and Axe-Hand Morgan cuts Garp and like draws blood and everything. So with how strong we know Garp is now, I feel like that's really insane. And I know in the cover story, it's because Garp fell asleep, so we got like an easy shot on him. But if Whitebeard's able to wake up when Ace is coming after him and probably like sneaking up on him, you would think that Garp would be able to avoid damage even in his sleep, but he didn't, because Axe-Hand Morgan's the GOAT, as we all knew, right? Vlad, you said, I wonder if knocking Blackbeard out awakens his fruit. I could definitely see something like that. Like, is he like? And I don't know if it's awakening the Yami Yami, but I think it could be awakening his like third secret fruit that we don't know about yet. That like we don't even know for sure he has one, but that's kind of the theory. Is like he already has a Paramecia and a Logia. When is he getting his own? Maybe he already has it. And since he scarred Shanks with like the 3 marks, and I know he has like the Wolverine claws, but it's like, I think that's foreshadowing both the claws and the scar, that whatever zone transformation he has is going to be something with claws that caused that. Alejandro Solos, who said Morgan had superior hockey. It's true. Hey, he's Axe-Hand Morgan, man. All right. He was, what was his position? I think it was captain, which in the Marines is not anything. I think was it captain? I'm gonna look it up. Yeah, Marine captain. All for not actually catching Captain Kuro. What a list of accomplishments. But all right, guys, I'm gonna head out of here. We're at 2.5 hours. See, it's crazy, man. It feels like it's been like 30 minutes. But yeah, no, great chapter this week. Overall, top tier. Couple announcements before I go, or not even announcements. I've already said them. So if you want to go, feel free. But definitely gonna do a redacted video on this. I think it'll be with Sai. I gotta reach out to him, but he said he was free this weekend to record another thing, because I got a couple other things I want to work on with him, but probably him. Gonna be a video either way. Should have the cover story video out on Sunday. I'm not gonna do a video on this chapter for sure, because honestly, the next chapter is coming out too soon, and man, those videos die so quick. Like, the only time I ever do chapter videos, or going forward, I'm only going to do them maybe on break weeks, because like they die by Tuesday, because you know the spoilers are out and all that stuff, which is understandable. I'm not mad, but you know, whatever. So cover story video this weekend, redacted video this weekend, and I feel like I had one other thing and I just don't remember what it is. I don't know. Did I gift all my memberships this month? I did. Okay, I don't know if I can't remember what the announcement is. Oh, Twitch, that's what I was going to say. Definitely going to be gaming more on Twitch. I've been doing it at least once a week for the last couple weeks, which is pretty solid, but I'll be doing it more. I think I'm still playing DK Bonanza, but I might take a break and switch over to, I don't know what I'll do. Maybe Paper Mario. I have the new, like, it's not new, but the updated Paper Mario, or I don't know. I've also been playing a lot of retro games, because on the Switch 2 you can play like GameCube and N64, and I've been playing some interesting games. So I don't know, but I'm going to be playing on Twitch, so make sure you go over there and subscribe. Or it's not subscribing. Well, you can follow. Subscribing's like the donation thing. Do that if you want, but definitely follow. But yeah, other than that, I'm heading out now.